Chapter 1800. Who is crazier? Chapter 1800. Who is crazier? Yemo's defense magic artifacts clashed with the golden lightning bolts non-stop. The entire space was shaking due to this dense cluster of lightning. Some bolts were blocked, but some bolts penetrated the defense magic artifact and struck Yemo's body. Blood sprayed. Yemo's bones broke down inch by inch. There was no other way to defend against it. Octagonal Cauldron was a broken extreme-grade immortal artifact, but it was very useful now. It blocked 7 of the 9 bolts from underground. Yemo kicked down on the remaining 2. Splurge crack. Flesh flew and bones cracked. Even with Yemo's immortal spirit body, he couldn't stop this golden lightning bolt that was thicker than a bucket. The world rock turned into a huge mountain, while Zisu turned into a patch of purple sword rays. In a rumble, the world rock was smashed away by the golden lightning, and the vibrant purple sword rays couldn't stop the tens of golden lightning bolts. Thud, thud, thud. After blocking the majority of the bolts, the rest of them struck his body. Thud. Yemo fell to the ground. With such powerful lightning bolts striking him non-stop, even the 3-birth chant can't refine them in time. Yemo's body was a mess. When Yemo was struck into the depth of the earth, he felt it even hard to breathe. If there was just one more bolt, even his essence spirit might be shattered. This divine damnation was trying to kill him. Fury spewed out of Yemo's eyes. Although he couldn't move, he charged at the immortal king barrier like crazy. He knew his divine damnation was different to others. Other people's divine damnation was more terrifying the longer it went on, but the most terrifying part of his divine damnation was the first and second wave. If he survived the first 2 waves and broke through, then the divine damnation later on would be nothing for him. Although he only had 1 breath left, Yemo's body refinement cultivation method still kept running. After devouring these golden lightning's bolts, his body refinement cultivation method kept strengthening his body. Meanwhile, his 3-birth chant used the lightning to charge at the immortal king barrier along with the immortal spirit chi. Rumble, lightning sounded again. The second wave didn't pause at all. It didn't give Yemo any chance for a breather. Seeing that it was about to fall again, Yemo pressed against the immortal king barrier even harder. The sky lit up even more and was about to explode. Yemo knew clearly that if he couldn't reach immortal king before the second wave, he would have to die. It seemed that this divine damnation had already predestined his death. It was because he prepared so well that he survived for this long. Yemo took out 2 more king pills and ate it. Terrifying immortal spirit chi instantly filled up Yemo's meridians. The immortal spirit chi, an extremely dense lightning source, were almost about to break Yemo's meridians apart. Even his immortal spirit body middle stage could only barely stop this barrage. Suddenly, the immortal spirit chi supplied by the extreme great immortal range and the king pill joined up and smashed open the immortal king barrier like a hammer when Yemo's meridians were just about to explode. Crack! It was almost too quiet to hear, but Yemo felt his body go lighter. The stacked-up immortal essence and lightning source expanded. It was like water flowing into a larger container. Yemo felt his power rise like crazy. A terrifying power, tens of times stronger than great eternity immortal peak stage surged up, and this power kept rising. Even his spirit sense started to expand like crazy. This feeling of increase of power made Yemo almost feel he was dreaming. He had gone through many times, but never had it been this crazy and clear. The remnant immortal spirit chi didn't disperse and kept charging at Yemo's body refinement cultivation. The torn meridians healed, and the broken legs also repaired. Yemo's body refinement cultivation level increased rapidly. This divine damnation was terrifying to the extreme, but once blocked, the benefits were unimaginable. Yemo felt his power kept being released. His immortal king domain was released. It expanded many times bigger and began to perfect. A terrifying immortal king chi spread out in the immortal graveyard range. Some element, immortal spirit beast, and ghosts all fled away. This force was too powerful. The divine damnation was too crazy. Yi Mo felt his body cracked lightly again. The next moment, an even more powerful feeling came. Yi Mo clenched his fists and slowly got up. He knew that he reached immortal spirit body tertiary stage. Crack, crack, rumble. Explosions sounded above his head. 108 golden bolts of lightning rained down, splitting off into tens of directions, smashing at Yi Mo. Yi Mo looked up calmly at these lightning bolts. He didn't even release a single defensive magic artifact this time, and just flew up. At the same time, he released lightning sword and punched out. He was going to keep using this golden lightning to increase his power and strengthen his lightning sword. Immortal Graveyard Valley was too distant in Jinshang Heaven. Not many people stayed here. Although Yi Mo's divine damnation commotion was huge, but not many people could feel it. But this didn't mean there weren't any. 2 great eternity immortals outside the immortal graveyard range felt this terrifying divine damnation and that almost indiscernible immortal king pressure. A level 6 immortal spirit beast is breaking through to level 7 now. 1 great eternity immortal stared in shock. How could there be immortal spirit beast in here breaking through to level 7? The other gray, robed great eternity immortal asked in confusion. This is definitely the power of level 7 immortal spirit beast breakthrough. If we don't leave quickly, we would die if that immortal spirit beast spirit sense scans us. The red-robed great eternity immortal said, seriously. The gray-robed one nodded, okay, let's go now. The 2 great eternity immortals sped off. In the outskirts of Jinshang Heaven Domain realm, the eagle-eyed man walked around for a long while before finally finding a small void whirlpool and going in. He always stayed in the void and knew about it much more than ordinary people. Soon he passed the realm domain. If Yi Mo was here, he would recognize this person to be the eagle-eyed immortal king he fought in the void. Yi Mo didn't expect this guy to chase him to Jinshang Heaven, but his flying ship wasn't as fast as Yi Mo's low-grade god artifact, and plus he needed to keep searching for Yi Mo's tracks. That's why he was 1 month behind. If he didn't have a tracking disc, he would have long lost Yi Mo. You think I can't do anything to you just because you fled to Jinshang Heaven? The eagle-eyed man sneered and kept searching. 5 minutes later, he chose a direction and flew towards it. 7 days later, the immortal king stopped 2 fleeing great eternity immortal. These 2 were the 2 who saw Yi Mo have divine damnation and ran away. Wan Bei, great immortal kingmaster. The gray-robed great eternity immortal immediately answered, have you seen a person like this? The eagle-eyed immortal king casually waved out Yi Mo's image in the air and asked. Chapter 1801. Invincible in Immortal King. Chapter 1801. Invincible in Immortal King? No, we didn't. The 2 great eternity immortals stuttered. Oh, the immortal king waved away the image and asked plainly, I heard you guys talk about some level 7 immortal spirit beast. Where did you see it? The red-robed great eternity immortal saw the immortal king wasn't too stern and eased up a little immortal king master. We came from immortal graveyard range. We saw a powerful divine damnation there. That's definitely immortal king, or level 7 immortal spirit beast divine damnation. Since the place is arid in immortal spirit chi, there's no way people would have divine damnation there. So Wan Bei guessed it was level 7 immortal spirit beast. The immortal king didn't answer and just took out the tracking disc and started searching. Moments later, he put away his disc and looked at the 2 anxious great eternity immortal. He knew immortal graveyard range, of course, and he had been there. now that there was someone having divine damnation there. It made him think of Yi-Mo. The disc pointed towards the range too, and Yi-Mo was Great Eternity Immortal Peak Stage. If it's really that Great Eternity Immortal Peak Stage who fought him, then things was seriously bad. If Yi-Mo reached Immortal King and stabilized his power, then he might even be invincible in Immortal King. Thinking that Yi-Mo might be invincible in Immortal King, he couldn't stay calm anymore. He glanced at the two Great Eternity Immortal and waved two blue lights over. These two were just Great Eternity Immortal Middle Stage and were far too weak compared to Yi-Mo. The two didn't expect it at all and were killed. The Immortal King didn't stop one bit and collected two storage rings and disappeared on his extreme grade immortal artifact. 2 hours later, a hollow figure came out of the gray-robed Great Eternity Immortal. He looked hatefully at the eagle-eyed Immortal King and said coldly if I didn't have a soul protection card, even my essence spirit would be gone. I, Fong Jitsung, swear that I will kill you in my lifetime. Then this essence spirit fled. Yi-Mo released lightning sword that clashed with the thick golden lightning arcs. With such terrifying divine damnation and such terrifying person, no ghost dared to come near. Thud, thud. Lightning struck Yi-Mo. These lightning bolts were thick, but after being slowed by Yi-Mo's Immortal King domain, it slowed down immediately. Then, when they clashed with the lightning sword, they were further weakened. With Yi-Mo's Immortal King primary stage power and Immortal Spirit body tertiary stage body refinement, only blood marks were created, no more flesh flying and bones breaking. The golden lightning circulated in the sky non-stop. Yi-Mo's lightning sword was kept being refined. Yi-Mo also devoured these lightning swords to strengthen himself. Those blood marks were gone in the blink of an eye. Yi-Mo floated in the air and was surrounded by countless lightning, but his power didn't grow any weaker. Instead, it kept growing stronger and stronger. After 2 waves of lightning, the third wave seemed to have disappeared and didn't fall for a long time. Yi-Mo didn't care and just kept refining his lightning sword and power. Half a day later, the third wave finally came. Only a few blue lightning bolts fell. Yi-Mo didn't even have the interest in devouring them. He just released a few lightning sword, and these lightning bolts were crippled instantly. Yi-Mo knew clearly that the remaining divine damnation would have zero threat for him at all, so he started using the 3-birth chant to stabilize his Immortal King state. Yi-Mo guessed that there probably wouldn't be Immortal Spirit Chi cloud this time. Indeed, after the last lightning bolt, nothing came. After all these divine damnations, Yi-Mo found a rule. If the divine damnation wanted to kill him, there would be no Immortal Spirit Chi cloud. If the divine damnation didn't want to kill him, there would be Immortal Spirit Chi to help him consolidate power. Yi-Mo was furious, but there was nothing he could do. He even suspected that people took turns in dropping divine damnation. If there was a good guy, he would get normal divine damnation, but if there was a maniac, he would get annihilation divine damnation. Now, all his immortal artifact turned to shambles except Octagonal Cauldron, Zisu, and World Rock. Octagonal Cauldron was already ruined, and after this divine damnation, it went from extreme grade immortal artifact to top grade immortal artifact around level 8 immortal artifact. After putting these things away, Yi-Mo continued to consolidate his power. In a short day, Yi-Mo suddenly woke up. He felt a powerful spirit sense scan his barrier formation. He was familiar with that spirit sense. It was that Immortal King tertiary stage in the void. This guy chased all the way over to the Immortal Graveyard range, Yi-Mo's killing intent sword. He cleaned himself and got up. The extreme Great Immortal range was used up. Even if he was to stabilize his power, he didn't need to stay at Immortal Graveyard range. After putting away the formation flag, Yi Mo noticed that the spirit sense just touched his barrier formation and didn't come over. Yi Mo was now immortal king. He wasn't going to be scared of an immortal king tertiary stage. He released his space-time boat and chased over without hesitation. That immortal king tertiary stage saw that the immortal graveyard range had calmed down. There was no more divine damnation. He immediately knew there was two possibilities. One was Yi Mo failed his divine damnation. The second was Yi Mo was recovering his power. He was certain that the one having divine damnation was the Git who fought him. He was in hesitation. He didn't know if he should go over anymore. If Yi Mo was still in divine damnation, then it would be perfect to go over. No matter if Yi Mo succeeded or failed, after divine damnation was his weakest moment. But now that the divine damnation finished, he was worried that if Yi Mo succeeded, then with his terrifying power, even he was no match. Just this slight hesitation, and Yi Mo's space-time boat was nearing him. The immortal king's face changed and subconsciously wanted to run, but then he released his blue spear. No matter how ferocious Yi Mo was, he just reached immortal king. Meanwhile, he was immortal king tertiary stage and refined his immortal essence for 100,000 years. How could he be afraid of an immortal king primary stage who hasn't even stabilized his power yet? In a short while space-time boat came before the immortal king tertiary stage. You're very persistent. You chased all the way from the void to here. Since you want to fight so much, the king, will fight with you. Yi Mo felt very satisfied. He could call himself king in front of this guy who always called himself king. I'm King Huijing, you heaven-winged demon sword sect immortal king elder. It's outside my expectation that you can reach immortal king. Seeing that you're immortal king, I won't have to fight you as long as you give me half of the spirit item before. Of course, I won't take it for free. I'll pay some immortal crystals. Huijing already wanted to retreat. He was threatening Yi Mo, but his tone started to weaken. Yi Mo's force was overwhelming now. He couldn't control his immortal king chi, yet completely. Winged Demon Sword sect was an immortal monarch sect. Yi Mo sneered, Winged Demon Sword sect, I've never heard of it. But I don't want to show you my things. What are you going to do? Huijing's face changed. One only dared to say he never heard of such a sect if his own sect was much larger, or he really never heard of it. Huijing didn't believe that Yi Mo hadn't heard of it. Winged Demon Sword set was so famous, there was no way a great eternity immortal peak stage hadn't heard of it. Huijing already regretted. Clearly threats were useless. When Yi Mo was only great eternity immortal, he dared to challenge an immortal king tertiary stage. Now that Yi Mo was immortal king, how could he be scared? In that case, goodbye. Huijing eventually dined fight. He felt he was no match for Yi Mo. You wanted to fight and chase me. I was fine with it. But now that you want to go, it's not up to you. Then Yi Mo released his fist god art, Void. Chapter 1802. Send pill before leaving. Chapter 1802. Send pill before leaving. Huijing knew Yi Mo's means. As soon as Yi Mo punched, his blue spear morphed out. In his impression, Yi Mo's strongest punch was that wave kill. But when his blue spear morphed, he felt things weren't right. This punch wasn't some flame wave. It swept the lethal force of a few hundred km radius into a lethal force whirlpool. The destructive chi in the whirlpool made his heart shiver. Huijing's long spear didn't stop at all, and brought a 300-meter long blue light piercing at the whirlpool. At the same time, he knew that he thought right. When Yi Mo reached Immortal King, he was no match for him at all. The powerful space pressure came. Huijing felt his Immortal King domain pause and instantly get compressed. The next moment, he was more horrified. He had been through countless battles and knew this was Yi Mo's Immortal King domain, but he had never expected someone who just reached Immortal King to have a far stronger Immortal King domain than him. Before Yi Mo had Immortal King domain, He occult suppress him, but now that Yi Mo's domain was far stronger than his, Yi Mo could easily suppress him. Thinking about this, Hu Jing wanted to run away. Rumble, void, punch, lethal force, whirlpool clashed with the long spear scattering earth all over the place. Hu Jing spat a mouthful of blood and flew back, but the lethal force wasn't completely negated by the blue spear. After retreating tens of kilometers, it still arrived. Thud. Just when the force was about to strike him, Hu Jing burned immortal essence and dodged it. Yi Mo's fist struck the sturdy ground, and pebbles flew around everywhere. A huge fist mark formed on the sturdy ground. Hu Jing spat another mouthful of blood. He felt weak after burning large amounts of immortal essence. He knew he was far from a match for Yi Mo. If it wasn't that Yi Mo wasn't familiar with controlling immortal king domain, that attack would have killed him. Yi Mo wasn't familiar with immortal king domain indeed, but he was experienced in battle and immediately realized what was going on. The next moment, he completely expanded his domain and controlled this region of space. Hu Jing took out a transmission rune. If he didn't leave now, he wouldn't get the chance to anymore. Just when he released it, he heard a light crack. Hu Jing was shocked. He knew he was completely in Yi Mo's domain while his domain was melted. Stop, Hu Jing called out crazily, but he only spoke one word, and a purple rainbow sliced over. There was despair in his eyes. He was an immortal king tertiary stage, but was killed but a newly risen immortal king. He regretted if he fought with his life from the start, he might have a sliver of chance of escape. Yi Mo was so powerful already after just reaching immortal king. Once he stabilized his power, which immortal king would be a match for him, this was definitely invincibility amongst immortal king. When blood mist sprayed, a dragon horse like a mortal spirit beast appeared and suddenly ate his essence spirit. A month later, a blue-robed great eternity immortal primary stage walked out of the immortal graveyard range. Then he got on a top-grade flying immortal artifact and left rapidly. This was Yi Mo, who had consolidated his power. He didn't hide his face this time, as he was going to win immortal residence. He got a good extreme grade immortal artifact spear from the immortal king. The spear was blue and had great offensive and defensive capabilities. That extreme grade flying immortal artifact was also pretty good, but the storage ring only had ordinary things, other than large amounts of void, secret silver. There was only 200 million top-grade immortal crystals. There were large amounts of supplementary herbs for Monarch will pill, but not the main ingredient. He also got 1,000 extreme grade immortal crystals. They were rare like extreme grade spirit stones in the cultivation realm. Extreme grade immortal crystals were used to set up high-level formations and power flying immortal artifact as well as puppets. Yurin Immortal Residence was only a very ordinary residence in Jinshang Heaven. Yi Mo stood outside it right now. He felt the place wasn't bad. It was on par with some immortal cities in the Middle Heaven domains. Qian Bei, please stop here. This is Yurin Immortal Residence region. One abstruse immortal tertiary stage stopped Yi Mo and saluted with his fists politely. Yi Mo said, I was invited over by Ren Fu and Chu Qi before the abstruse immortal answered. 2 people flew over already. It was Ren Fu and Hong Ling. Brother Yi, I really didn't expect you to come here. Ren Fu said in joy, and so was Hong Ling moments later. Chu Qi and Ren Lijin came too, but Yi Mo felt there was some hesitation and sadness in Ren Fu's eyes. Chu Qi and Ren Lijin were also overjoyed that Yi Mo came. The 5 went inside together and told each other of their experiences after parting. Chu Qi and Ren Lijin traveled in Qingwei Heaven for 2 years and came back to Jinshang Heaven. Both of their cultivation level progressed. Yi Mo didn't say what happened to him, and neither did they ask. There were quite a lot of rooms here. Yi Mo was experienced in formation and could immediately tell they were divided into regions. Some regions had ample immortal spirit qi. Some had arid immortal spirit chi. Yi Mo thought Ren Fu had great status in here, and would have the best place, but after coming to her cultivation home, Yi Mo realized that she stayed at the Palsy with the worst immortal spirit chi. Yi Mo didn't ask, but Ren Fu already knew. Yi Mo realized. After they sat down, Ren Li Jin helped pour a few cups of immortal spirit chi tea. Ren Fu set up restriction before saying, "Brother Yi, thank you for helping Li Jin," and Chu Chi. Yi Mo waved his hand. "No big deal." Ren Li Jin said, "Brother Yi, if we weren't waiting for you, we would have already left." Ren Fu sighed. 3 years ago, the old residence leader died when he went out. The old residence leader wanted me to succeed his position, but I felt my power was too weak, so I had no intentions of doing so. But other people think I'm a hypocrite and keep suppressing me. Hong Ling said, "Marshall's sister, Ren probably would have long left if I didn't insist on staying here to wait for you." Yi Mo realized why Ren Fu's place was so bad. So he asked, "Then what plans do you have now?" "I don't know. After you go, we'll be leaving here." Ren Fu really didn't know where to go. Yi Mo thought for a moment and said, "I came this time to invite Hong Ling to help me go to Long Yu Immortal Mountain. My sister Li Kuan is at Long Yu Immortal Mountain." Hong Ling immediately got up and said, "Marshal Brother Yi, you have something to give to your sister? Leave it to me." Yi Mo nodded. "Yes, I have a bottle of Yi King pill. Help me bring it to my sister. She will know what to do." Yi Mo had 8 pills inside the bottle. He put so much in because Li Kuan would be giving the rest to Ji Shu, Chi Beitsang, and them. Hong Ling took the bottle shakily. Such pill was precious to everyone, and Yi Mo gave her such pills. This was trust. Everyone else looked dazedly at the bottle. Yi Mo knew what they thought and took out 4 more bottles. "There are 2 Yi King pills each in the bottles. Take 1 bottle each." Ren Li Jin was the first to open the bottle. She called out in shock, "Special grade Yi King pill and top grade Yi King pill." Chu Chi immediately remembered that Yi Mo said he would give compensation for taking that pill cauldron. He looked at Yi Mo in disbelief and asked, "Brother Yi, you're an immortal pill Grand Master?" Yi Mo nodded. "Marshal Brother, Yi, where are you going?" Hong Ling wanted to go find Yi Mo as soon as she reached Immortal King. "I'm going to Gonghua Heaven. I ascended from Luo Yu Convent. Many of my friends will be going Gonghua Heaven after ascending. I will meet up with them." Yi Mo said. Chu Chi got up immediately and said, "Brother Yi, after we reach Immortal King, we will go find you at Gonghua Heaven." Chapter 1803. Outside Qing Mo City. Chapter 1803. Outside Qing Mo City, there were 3 Immortal King tablets in the 33 heavens of the Immortal Realm. The first tablet was in Grand Heaven Domain, Fendu Heaven. The second was at Middle Heaven Domain Yuan Le Heaven. The third was at Low Heaven Domain Mo E Heaven. However, they all displayed the same content. In the Immortal Realm, only status immortal had high status and enjoy the longevity of life in the Immortal Realm. Each new Immortal King would get a title. One didn't name his own title, nor did someone give it to him. The Immortal King tablet would show it automatically. When a great eternity immortal reached Immortal King, he would get a chance to earn a title. You needed to go to Immortal King tablet. Usually, Immortal Kings would go to the Immortal King tablet and mark his name immediately after breaking through. Then, the tablet would show his Immortal King title. Only an Immortal King who accepted the title from the tablet would be taken care of by the Immortal Realm and benefit from the Immortal Realm's fortune. In big sects and families, when someone reached Immortal King, there would be a large area of auspicious worldly phenomenon, far beyond ordinary Immortal King. Some would even shake up the entire heaven domain. The Immortal King tablet grew out itself since the Immortal Realm was divided. It said that in the ancient times, Immortal King didn't deserve titles. Only an Immortal Emperor deserved a title. Usually, the title was given by the realm. The instant one became an Immortal Emperor. Ever since the immortal realm divided into the 33 heaven domains, the immortal king title would be given by the tablet, and it wouldn't change, even if one reached immortal emperor. Later on, when the heaven domains were individually united, there would be an immortal king tablet visit every 1,000 years. Yi Mo never knew about this, as he never had any deep conversations with any immortal king, and he usually cultivated on his own. After he reached immortal king, there wasn't even immortal spirit chi cloud, much less worldly phenomena. Thus no one knew. Hui Jing was hesitant on leaving before, because he wasn't sure if Yi Mo reached immortal king. Even the weakest immortal king would have some phenomena. Yi Mo knew immortal king had titles. He had always thought you gave yourself a title. As for thinking of his own title, he felt it was too troublesome. If he knew about the immortal king tablet, he might go get himself a title. But now he had left Jin Shang heaven and was flying in the void again. With his low grade god artifact, it would take about 5 years to get to middle heaven domain. This was because the space-time boat had a location disk. Otherwise, he might be flying for 5 decades or 5 centuries and not find his way. The location disk was worth more than the space-time boat itself. In the vast void, no one dared to come without having a location mark except for Immortal Monarch and Immortal Emperor. Even Immortal Monarch could possibly die in the vast void. Low grade god artifact speed was near the top in the immortal realm, but Yi Mo still felt he needed a faster flying magic artifact. If he had the real space-time boat, he might reach Middle Heaven domain in just a month or less. But now, he had to waste time in the void. Yi Mo gave the space-time boat to Shadowless and Small Ginseng to control, while he practiced the 4th wave of wave kill in the Golden Page world. Then, Yi Mo almost used up all the immortal spirit herb and materials he could. His forgery skills increased another level, but even so, he couldn't completely repair Octagonal Cauldron. This was because Octagonal Cauldron was missing a lid, and second, it required materials that were too high level. Although Yi Mo was near level 9 immortal artifact forgery ability, but he still couldn't forge extreme grade immortal artifact that was beyond level 9. Small Ginseng and Shadowless controlled the space-time boat non-stop. Both of them didn't want to rest. They were competing who could go faster. Since there was no immortal spirit beast stopping Tem on the way, as well, they reached Middle Heaven domain in just about 4 years. The first place he went to was Zhongpiao Heaven. He wanted to see if Shen Bingyu was here. If she was, he would ask if she wanted to leave Qing Mo Immortal City. When Yi Mo was here with Shen Bingyu, it was a very big city, one of the 10 greatest immortal cities of Zhongpiao Heaven. But after a few decades, it was all gone. It was wilderness everywhere. This place was surrounded with demonic immortal spirit beasts in a few thousand km radius. The restrictions on the city were tattered. Yi Mo could still see Ping Zhou, Immortal King, repairing the restriction non-stop. The immortals fighting with the demonic immortal spirit beast were clearly fatigued. Yi Mo sighed. He didn't expect demonic immortal spirit beast reproduced this quickly. They were already outside the city now. By the looks of it, this city would be wiped clean in a year or so. Yi Mo counted. There were more demonic immortal spirit beasts than void iron-winged bears he saw last time. There were ones ranging from level 2 to level 7. Level 7 was equivalent to ordinary Immortal King power. Thinking about how there was only Ping Zhou Immortal King here, Yi Mo sighed. Thinking about Ping Zhou Immortal King, Kai Feng Immortal King, and Su Huan Immortal King's attitude towards him at Yuanla Heaven, Yi Mo felt grateful. They were suspicious of him, but they stood up for him without hesitation. Kai Feng Immortal King gave him an old map, letting him find that ancient ruin where he got a level 9 immortal spirit beast core and a huge refined star rock. Yi Mo wasn't going to watch. Shen Bingyu might even be inside. a few demonic immortal spirit beasts already flew over while Yi-Mo was in contemplation. Yi-Mo waved a few lightning sword, and those level 5 demonic immortal spirit beasts that could have easily killed him before were turned to dust. The other demonic immortal spirit beast saw Yi-Mo and immediately rushed over. Yi-Mo took out Hong Ling's mask and turned into an ordinary young immortal king. He would go see Ping Zhou Immortal King soon. If people who knew him saw he reached Immortal King in such a short time, it would cause unnecessary trouble. Yi-Mo's Zhisu changed greatly, and he didn't worry people would recognize it. Zhisu brought out a 3 kilometers long purple sword ray and reaped large patches of demonic immortal spirit beast. Yi-Mo sighed. It would be best to call out Shadowless now, but he couldn't expose Shadowless. In one move, Yi-Mo slaughtered more than 10,000 demonic immortal spirit beasts, but Yi-Mo shook his head. This was too slow if he went on with this speed. He didn't know how long it would take to kill all these demonic immortal spirit beasts. The next moment, Yi-Mo waved his hands and 4 blue suns with 4 golden bands rose in the air. This was Heaven Flame 9 suns. Yi-Mo could use 5 suns now, but it was too exhausting, so he only used 4. Chapter 1804. Yi-Mo is back. Chapter 1804. Yi-Mo is back with the 4 blue suns rising. Terrifying blue rays swept past the entire place. These blue rays with a destructive searing chi didn't allow a single demonic immortal spirit beast to live. Large areas of demonic immortal spirit beast fell, while this blue sun expanded slowly from tens of km to hundreds of kilometers. Yi-Mo could expand it bigger, but he stopped. The larger it was, the more consuming it was. He charged amidst the demonic immortal spirit beast, and they were blown down like the wind. It was much easier to move around than expanding the Heaven Flame 9 suns. Help has arrived. Everyone on the city walls saw what was happening outside. Then they were dazed. 4 blue suns moved around the city. Demonic immortal spirit beast that stretched beyond the edge of spirit sense fell down in large areas. This was like a howling wind blowing past, not leaving any behind. What reinforcement was this? It was too powerful, too scary. No one had seen such terrifying magic. This wasn't magic anymore. It was a heavenly disaster. In just 5 minutes, all the demonic immortal spirit beast nearby rustled. Many of them gave up attacking the city and came to attack Yi-Mo. This saved Yi-Mo large amounts of immortal essence. He didn't even need to move around and could kill large amounts of demonic immortal spirit beast. Demonic immortal spirit beast were scared of lightning and fire element magic, much less Heaven Flame 9 suns that powered by immortal Heaven Flame. The 2 level 7 demonic immortal spirit beasts were dizzy under the sun, but they had powerful resistance. Their offensive power lowered by more than half, but they still attacked Yi-Mo together. Yi-Mo didn't pull of Zhisu, but instead used Wave Kill. With Wave Kill, all the nearby air was burned up, forming voids. Rumble. The first wave struck the 2 demonic immortal spirit beasts, making them shriek in pain. Yi-Mo shook his head. If he used Zhisu now, he could easily kill the 2, but he didn't. The second and third wave charged out and instantly killed the 2 demonic immortal spirit beasts. Before the beast cores could melt, Yi-Mo waved over the 2 level 7 beast cores. Now, Yi-Mo felt his power. Before, he would feel a lack of spirit sense or immortal essence when he used Heaven Flame 9 suns or Wave Kill. But now his immortal essence and spirit sense was barely used. As more and more demonic immortal spirit beasts were killed, Yi-Mo killed some more level 7 demonic immortal spirit beast. Most demonic immortal spirit beasts were chaotic. One level 7 demonic immortal spirit beast couldn't take the Heaven Flame anymore and turned to run. The rest of the demonic immortal spirit beast all turned to run. With this, the demonic immortal spirit beast army immediately began to cripple. They all retreated towards Song Piao Plains. Yi Mo didn't go in the city and chased over instead. It was the perfect time to kill these demonic immortal spirit beasts as they were grouped up. Yi Mo didn't hold back now. A fifth sun rose, and 1,000 km radius was covered all under the sun. In a short while, the demonic immortal spirit beasts depleted rapidly. Only now did Yi Mo feel some pressure for immortal essence and spirit sense, but he didn't give up and chased over. The demonic immortal spirit beast he killed piled up in mountains. When Yi Mo chased the demonic immortal spirit beasts away, the people of the city started rejoicing. The city doors were open and hundreds of thousands of immortals charged out to attack the remnant demonic immortal spirit beast. More people were collecting the beast cores. If they picked all these up, it would be a huge fortune, but unfortunately, most of them have melted. A blue-robed, extremely beautiful woman looked at Yi Mo's figure. Her lips were shaky. There was a sliver of joy in her eyes. This was Zhen Bingyu. After Yi Mo left, she stayed in the city to cultivate. She was now Great Unity Immortal Primary Stage Peak, one step away from Great Unity Immortal Middle Stage. She knew Yi Mo. She recognized Heaven Flame, 9 suns. When Yi Mo released the 4 blue golden-rimmed suns, Zhen Bingyu knew Yi Mo was back. She knew Yi Mo's cultivation speed, so she didn't doubt it at all that Yi Mo reached Immortal King. Yi Mo came here clearly to take her away. She didn't need to be scared anymore, or rely on other people. Most immortals went out to slaughter demonic immortal spirit beasts. Zhen Bingyu didn't hesitate as well. She charged out not to kill demonic immortal spirit beasts, but to chase Yi Mo. After experiencing sect annihilation, the times with Yi Mo and her solitude in the city, she was no longer the Zhen Bingyu, who only sought Tao. During these years, if she wasn't looked after by Su Huan Immortal King and Ping Zhou Immortal King, she would have been long gone. She was such a beautiful woman. If she stayed in the city alone without any support, how could anything good happen? But Su Huan Immortal King had to leave to defend against demonic immortal spirit beast. Ping Zhou Immortal King couldn't even manage the city business, much less her. Young city lord, should we stop her? 2 men were staring at Zhen Bingyu. It was a Great Unity Immortal Primary Stage who spoke. A Great Eternity Immortal Primary Stage stood next to him. The Great Eternity Immortal Primary Stage was good-looking but seemed bleak. He waved his hand. No need. She's just going down to kill demonic immortal spirit beast, and her clothes is marked by Anihi. She can't run away. Plus, I hope she would run. Otherwise, with Ping Zhou Immortal King here, it's hard to attack. A beautiful middle-aged woman came over and said quietly to this Great Eternity Immortal Primary Stage young city lord. Elder Ming said it's an extremely powerful immortal king who came to support the city. He told you not to say much at this time. The Great Eternity Immortal waved his hand. I know this. I've already investigated this Zhen Bingyu. She came from Low Heaven Domain and has no support here. She came with an abstruse immortal, and that abstruse immortal never came out after going in Yuan, Low Heaven Dao Seeking Tower. Su Huan and Ping Zhou Immortal King are helping her due to that abstruse immortal. Otherwise, I would have made a move already. After the disaster, Ping Zhou Immortal King would greet that Qian Bei. He wouldn't be able to mind her. I can take her away then. The young city lord laughed. Zhen Bingyu is my greatest find this time. I thought I would need to stay longer, but this Qian Bei helped me. Young city lord, not good. The Great Unity Immortal suddenly said. Anihi, stop her. The Great Eternity Immortal Primary Stage also noticed that Zhen Bingyu didn't join the teams for slaying demonic immortal spirit beast, and instead chased towards that immortal king Qian Bei. He didn't expect she was this bold. Immortal kings were high up no matter where it was. If ordinary immortals dared to go up to them without being invited, it was asking to die. A purple sword rays sliced over, and the last level 7 demonic immortal spirit beast was killed. Yemo stopped. His spirit sense scanned that Zhen Bingyu chased over. He almost killed all the demonic immortal spirit beast that surrounded the city this time. There was no point in chasing anymore. Chapter 1805. Who dares to kill my son? Chapter 1805. Who dares to kill my son? Martial Sister Bingyu. Yi Mo dashed to Zhen Bingyu and smiled. Zhen Bingyu wasn't fast, but wasn't slow. You're back. Zhen Bingyu's tone was shaky. When Yi Mo was about to go, she was reluctant, but definitely not as strong as now. Now that she faced Yi Mo, she had this extremely intense feeling she didn't want to let Yi Mo leave alone. Before, when she didn't care about her body, she didn't mind Yi Mo looking at her, but now she didn't have the courage to charge into Yi Mo's arms and say, "I've missed you." She really wanted to do this. She definitely wouldn't have the courage to stand naked in front of him again. Sometimes she suspected her Tao heart had regressed. Sometimes she felt her Tao heart was affected by Yi Mo's Tao heart. Who is she? Yi Mo saw the green-robed middle-aged woman who chased over. He thought it was Zhen Bingyu's friend in the city. Yi Mo felt strange. In his impression, Zhen Bingyu's character was cold and didn't like making friends. Why does she have friends now? Zhen Bingyu said plainly, "A woman who wants to capture me to her young city lord for pleasure." What? Yi Mo's eyes went cold, and the nearby space instantly froze. A mere great eternity immortal tertiary stage dared to be this cocky. The green-robed woman saw Yi Mo and Zhen Bingyu talk, and then Yi Mo's force suddenly went cold. She immediately shivered and turned to run. Yi Mo didn't chase her, and just looked at her. "When were you marked by spirit sense?" Zhen Bingyu's body shook, and she shook her head. "I don't know. If it's spirit sense mark, then it's probably by that Auntie. She had invited me to her place more than once, but I've rejected every time." Yi Mo didn't remove it and said to Zhen Bingyu, "I can't expose my identity yet. I'll take you away. As an anonymous passerby, immortal king, I know." Zhen Bingyu knew that there was a huge secret for Yi Mo to be able to progress this quickly. If this was spilled, it wouldn't be good. "Then let's go." Yi Mo grabbed Zhen Bingyu and took a few steps and arrived at the door of the Qing Mo city. Yi Mo didn't feel any mental barrier for holding Zhen Bingyu as he carried her for very long before. He just felt her body seemed a little warmer and maybe softer. But Zhen Bingyu felt her body go soft and her body temperature rising. She knew her mindset had changed too much. Other than cultivation and searching for resources, she had been thinking about Yi Mo and her master. Luckily, Yi Mo gave her lots of pills and an immortal spirit herb garden, so she didn't need to leave the city for cultivation resources. Otherwise, she would have long fell into someone else's hands. If Yi Mo still didn't come back, she would have to ask Su Huan, Immortal King, to send her away or join a big sect. Otherwise, she wouldn't be able to survive. Yi Mo sensed Zhen Bingyu's worry and felt a little apologetic. If it was Luo Ying or Ningqing Xue, he would definitely not leave them at a random place even if he was to get stronger. In these years, Su Huan, Immortal King Qianbei, and Ping Zhou, Immortal King Qianbei, have helped me greatly. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't even be able to rent my cultivation home. Zhen Bingyu said. Yi Mo breathed easy. Helping others was helping yourself indeed. He helped the 3 immortal kings, and now they helped him and took care of Zhen Bingyu. Zong Piao Heaven Ping Zhou, thank Immortal King friend for helping. Yi Mo put Zhen Bingyu down, and Ping Zhou, Immortal King, came out of the city and saluted with his fists. Ping Zhou, Immortal King, you're too polite. I was just passing by and just helped. Plus, demonic immortal spirit beasts are ravaging the city. Anyone can kill them. Yi Mo laughed. Ping Zhou, Immortal King, didn't mind Yi Mo's tone. Yi Mo had the right to talk like that. Even an immortal monarch might not be able to do better than Yi Mo, much less Yi Mo, who was just an immortal king primary stage. Immortal Monarch would at most make the demonic immortal spirit beast retreat, but it's impossible to slaughter them all unless he had special immortal arts. I haven't asked for your title yet. If immortal friend don't mind, please come have a seat in the city lord estate. Ping Zhou, immortal king, was very polite. He knew that he would be instant killed by Yi Mo if he wanted to. Yi Mo waved his hand. No need to go to city lord estate. I have business, so I need to leave immediately. Seeing Zhen Bingyu next to Yi Mo, Ping Zhou, immortal king, quickly said, Bingyu, go help clean up the battlefield. I'll send this immortal king friend, who helped the city a great deal. Yi Mo didn't say his name, and his tone was prideful. Ping Zhou, immortal king, knew that such person would definitely have a strange temper. So he gave up on inviting Yi Mo. Hearing this, Yi Mo had a good impression of Ping Zhou. Although he intentionally acted prideful, he respected Ping Zhou, immortal king, a lot. What he said was clearly to protect Zhen Bingyu. Before Zhen Bingyu spoke, Yi Mo waved his hand. I like this girl. She can stay with me. Ping Zhou, immortal king, quickly said, this is my old friend's friend. If hearing this, Yi Mo respected Ping Zhou, immortal king, even more. Zhen Bingyu quickly said, immortal king master, Wan Bei is willing to go with this Qian Bei. Ping Zhou, immortal king, dazed, and before he could speak, someone on the side, immortal king master, Wan Bei Luo Chenming. I came to Qing Mo City to pick up Bingyu goddess. My father is Fei Ling, immortal city lord, Ihi, immortal king, Luo, Quebec. My father had decided to take Zhen Bingyu as a disciple and marry her to me. Luo Chenming knew Yi Mo was strong. He saw Yi Mo slaughter hundreds of millions of demonic immortal spirit beast, but he knew such mass-scale immortal art wasn't useful for one-on-one battle. His father was immortal king tertiary stage. Bullshit, I've never seen some Luo K, nor did I agree to go to Fei Ling Immortal City. What right do you have to take me away? Zhen Bingyu yelled furiously. Seeing Luo Chenming was going to keep talking, Yi Mo's eyes went cold and said coldly, is that so? How dare you? Yi Mo's powerful immortal king force rose. Even Ping Zhou, immortal king, felt shaky, much less Luo Chenming, who took the full force of it. Ping Zhou, immortal king, saw Yi Mo's killing intent and quickly said, Ihi, immortal king is immortal king tertiary stage. He's one step away from immortal king peak stage. And as the head of the 10 great immortal kings of Zongpiao heaven, Yi Mo knew what Ping Zhou, immortal king, meant. But how could he be scared of an immortal king tertiary stage? His killing intent soared. No. How could Luo see him take on Yi Mo's terrifying killing intent? He said shakily, I came to Qing Mo City and saw Bingyu. Then you marked her with spirit sense and planned to take her away. Yi Mo raised his hand and removed a faint light spot from Zhen Bingyu. Ping Zhou, immortal king, saw this and immediately realized it was a spirit sense mark. He couldn't help but sigh and felt guilty. Zhen Bingyu was being targeted, and he didn't even know. If this immortal king didn't come, he wouldn't even know Zhen Bingyu went missing until after a long time. Thinking about Mo Ing, who let him go into the Tao-seeking tower, he felt guilty. Yes, I did it. Luo Chenming couldn't even speak under the immortal king pressure. That's all I needed. Yi Mo flung out a faint light. Who dares to kill my son? A furious roar sounded, and an ethereal middle-aged man charged out, punched at the light. Yi Mo didn't mind the fist shadow that was growing larger and larger, but the faint light he threw out gradually expanded and grew hotter. The fist shadow was instantly enveloped by the light. Yi Mo didn't mind the fist shadow that was growing larger and larger, but the faint light he threw out gradually expanded and grew hotter. The fist shadow was instantly enveloped by the light. Rumble, in a huge explosion, the fist cracked apart while a ring of white light expanded out. Moments later, the white light formed a formation. Although Yi Mo could easily kill Luo Chenming, he stopped instead. He knew this light formation was a temporary teleportation formation, This meant that the person protecting Luo Chunming had come. If it was some immortal emperor image, he might be concerned, but now this was a mere immortal king image. Even if an immortal king came, he could kill Luo Sihiming whenever he wanted. When the white light dispersed, a middle-aged man appeared before everyone. This person wore a purple-gray immortal robe. His eyes were like Luo Chunming, a bit bleak, but he was much more handsome than Luo Chunming. With him appearing, the man's force expanded like crazy. The force of an immortal king tertiary stage made all the great eternity immortals retreat, but when this force reached Yi Mo, it was dissipated by Yi Mo's immortal king domain. Zhen Bingyu didn't even feel it at all. He immortal king. Ping Zhou, immortal king, quickly saluted with his fists. Looking at this guy, Yi Mo knew this guy probably wasn't going to talk nicely. Luo was sneered. Pei Yi, Ping Zhou, immortal king master. If I came a little later, my son would probably be killed by you. And this outsider, right? Ping Zhou, immortal king's face changed. He was an immortal king too, although Yi's power was higher than his, but this sardonic tone made him feel extremely uncomfortable. He sneered inside, although Yi was immortal king tertiary stage, but it wasn't easy for him to beat this immortal king primary stage. Brother Luo, I never said anything, nor did I want to attack Chiming. If Brother Luo must count the responsibility on me, I don't care. Ping Zhou said. Luo, who had never even glanced at Yi Mo since arriving here. Hearing this, his eyes went cold. He glared coldly at Ping Zhou, immortal king, as a killing intent flashed across his eyes. However, he didn't keep looking for trouble and instead turned to the two men and woman behind Luo Chunming and yelled, "What are you guys doing? How dare you let the young city lord be abused here?" The three didn't even dare to speak. Yi Mo shook his head. Such person could only be cocky in the Middle Heaven domain. If he went to the Grand Heaven domain, he would be quickly annihilated. Ji Shu and Qi Baitsong were young city lords too, but how did their dads educate them? They weren't spoiled at all. Ji Shu even went to find his own resources, and his dad didn't ask. "Father, I predetermined this woman, but this guy came and robbed her away just because he was stronger. If Father didn't intervene in time, I might have died already." Luo Chunming pointed at Xin Bingyu. Luo looked at Xin Bingyu, and his eyes lit up. This woman was pretty indeed, but thinking about how she almost got his son killed, he grunted, "You almost lost your life for a woman. Aren't you stupid?" Yi Mo dazed. He didn't expect Luo to say this. Did he see wrongly of him? May he, you, and Mingyu get the woman and strip her naked and hang her at the city gates, Luo said. Yi Mo's eyes went cold and his killing intent soared. He thought this Luo would at least ask both sides of the story, but he did this instead. He still hasn't attacked because Song Piao Heaven was ravaged by demonic immortal spirit beast, and Yi Immortal King was the #1 immortal king here. But since he was this shameless, then don't blame him. Father, that woman I haven't yet, Luo Chunming said desperately. Luo looked unhappily at Luo Chunming and waved out a space magic artifact and said, "Take the woman inside. After my son uses her, pull her out and hang her." Yi Mo was so furious that he didn't do anything instead. He had seen many psychopaths and maniacs, but never someone to this degree. Without question, this guy had killed countless people like this. He was at least an immortal king, and this guy didn't even say anything to him, and was going to let his men attack Xin Bingyu. Ping Zhou, immortal king, was sneering, but he did nothing. He knew Yi Mo would attack. The two great eternity immortal looked worriedly at Yi Mo's city. Lord Master hadn't seen Yi Mo's power yet, but they have. With how Yi Mo attacked before, even City Lord might not be a match for him, but they didn't dare to say this. This was asking to die. "City Lord Master," Mingyu called out hesitantly. Luo saw the two's eyes and knew the two were worried about Yi Mo. He was furious. He was an immortal king tertiary stage standing here, yet these two were worried about an immortal king primary stage. "Just go get her. I'll see who dares to move," Luo said. Then he said in contempt, "A mere immortal king primary stage dares to be this cocky. Were you about to kill my son?" "Wrong." Yi Mo smiled and suddenly waved, two lightning out. "How dare you?" Luo Hua extended his immortal king domain out and released an immortal artifact that charged at Yi Mo was a black ray. Crack. Luo Hua felt his immortal king domain was like porcelain smashing into granite. It cracked into pieces. His dark kill flag also slowed down. The next moment, he felt a purple sword rays slicing over. It brought about 1 km long killing intent. How could he not realize now that his immortal king domain was far from a match for Yi Mo's immortal king domain? Not good. Before Luo Hua could move, he heard another crackle. The two reaching for Zhen Bingyu were blasted into nothing by lightning. Luo Hua was shocked. He immediately knew his opponent was stronger than him. He immediately gave up on the thought of fighting Yi Mo. Even if Yi Mo was an immortal king primary stage, he didn't want to fight him. But he had to deal with this purple sword ray first. Rumble crack. 2 more lightning flashed, Luo Qinming, and the great Unity Immortal next to him couldn't even dodge, and were blasted into nothing. Luo Hua couldn't stop this at all, seeing his son getting killed right before him. Luo Hua felt a murderous feeling surge up, and he almost spat a mouthful of blood. In his fury, the flag grew larger and swept around the lethal force in the space and clashed with Sisu. The low-level immortals were blasted away, and some were even heavily injured. Yi Mo calmly waved his hand, and the chaos flow disappeared, but Luo Hua flew back a km before stopping. "Now," Yi Mo said slowly, "now I killed your son." Luo Hua couldn't hold it in, and spat a mouthful of blood. At the same time, his figure burst out and became twice as large as before. His flag flew up and swept the lethal force of a few 100 km radius. His killing intent kept soaring. Ping Zhou, Immortal King, sighed. He didn't know why, but he could tell Yi Mo was going to give Luo Hua some face before. But Luo Hua was so arrogant. Now his son was killed, and looking at this Immortal King primary stage's force, even Luo Hua was no match for him. Ping Zhou, Immortal King, sighed. He didn't know why, but he could tell Yi Mo was going to give Luo Hua some face before. But Luo Hua was so arrogant. Now his son was killed, and looking at this Immortal King primary stage's force, even Luo Hua was no match for him. Seeing Luo Hua's rising force, Yi Mo signaled Zhen Bingyu to retreat. He took a step forward and punched out. The punch was called Void. In that instant, the void lethal force brought by the fist wind had covered the lethal force of the flag. It was clear which was stronger. The flag's lethal force was rising before, but after Yi Mo punched out Void, this stopped. In just 1 second, this lethal force was suppressed. Moments later, the hundreds of km radius wasn't the flag's lethal force anymore. It was Void Punch's void lethal force whirlpool. Luo was shocked greatly. Not only was Yi Mo's Immortal King domain far superior than his, but even this immortal essence and God art was far stronger than him. In that instant, Luo calmed down. He had never thought of regret. He acted on his heart his entire life. He was able to be the #1 Immortal King of Zongpiao Heaven because of his ruthlessness. Although this ruthlessness has caused him disaster, he didn't realize it. His only thought was to hold on and find an opportunity to run away from Zongpiao Heaven. One day he would reach Immortal Monarch, and then he would come back and deal with this little Immortal King. Rumble. The two lethal forces clashed, creating even greater space chaos flow. The land outside Qingmo, Immortal City, immediately turned to an ocean. The sturdy rocks were swept up and rolled around like ocean waves. Countless sand and stones flew around, catching the observers in the crossfire again. Ping Zhou, Immortal King, quickly released his defense magic artifact and turned into a 100 km long wall to stop this. Luo Hua's flag stopped Yi Mo's void again. Although Yi Mo's punch had the definite upper hand, but Luo Hua stopped the momentum of the punch. Luo Hua felt his immortal essence rumble, and his immortal king domain crack open the second time. Before Luo Hua could run, Yi Mo expanded his immortal king domain and used wave kill. Yi Mo didn't want to waste time anymore. Luo Hua was weaker than Hu Jing, and now his cultivation level had completely stabilized. Rumble, wave kill was released, and the first flame wave splashed out. Ping Zhou, Immortal King, subconsciously shivered. This was his second time seeing Yi Mo use wave kill. The first time, it was from a distance, but now he was close by watching. If it was him, he would definitely not be able to stop the third wave. When the first wave came, Luo Hua could only use his immortal essence to control the flag to block this. The space nearby started rustling heavily. He was going to flee. However, Luo Hua found his speed in void transmission was much slower. Usually, he would have used the mobility technique already, but now he found it difficult to even tear open the nearby space. How could Yi Mo not know what Luo Hua thought? He reached his immortal king domain out like crazy, while smashing out the second and third wave. The difference between Immortal King and Great Eternity Immortal was too great. When Yi Mo used wave kill before, there would be a pause, but now Yi Mo could use it whenever he liked, and now he wouldn't use up his immortal essence after just using 2 waves. The flag sizzled and finally shrunk after blocking the second wave. Before Luo Hua could insert more immortal essence in, the third wave had surrounded him. Luo Hua quickly used all his immortal essence to stop the third wave. He just realized now that ever since the fight begun, he was always on the passive side. He couldn't even counterattack. This meant that Yi Mo was far stronger than him. Before the third wave ended, a purple sword ray followed closely. Despair rose in Luo Hua's heart. It was already hard even for him to block the flame wave under Yi Mo's immortal king domain, and yet Yi Mo could still release another sword ray god art. Just how big was the difference between them? Splurge. The sword ray brought out a red light, and the third wave completely engulfed Luo Hua. Luo Hua's struggling essence spirit heard, the opponent is too weak, too hard to learn a new sword god art. His essence spirit didn't even have the time to become angry, and was annihilated by the flame wave. A ring was collected by Yi Mo. The battle outside the city started quick and ended quick. The power was shocking to the extreme, and this terrifying scene disappeared in an instant. Ping Zhou, Immortal King, took in a cold breath. The difference was too huge. An Immortal King primary stage almost instant killed an Immortal King tertiary stage. If this Immortal King primary stage reached Immortal King middle stage, wouldn't he be invincible in Immortal King level? Seeing Yi Mo come over, Ping Zhou, Immortal King, quickly removed his defense magic artifact and came up saluted with his fists. Immortal friend has powerful means. Yi Mo saluted with his fists and said nothing. If he spoke too much, he might expose himself. Immortal friend, Zong Piao heaven is ravaged by demonic immortal spirit beast. There's emergencies everywhere. Please help us on the account that we're all human race. Ping Zhou, Immortal King, couldn't help asking. Yi Mo didn't reject nor answer. To be honest, he really wanted to help, but he didn't want to stay long here. Seeing Yi Mo hesitate, Ping Zhou, Immortal King, rejoiced and quickly saluted with his fists. Immortal friend, Zong Piao heaven is invaded by demonic immortal spirit beast on a large scale. Countless immortals have died. The entire heaven domain has suffered heavy losses. Although many immortal friends want to help, but the main teleportation formations have been taken over. If they fly over through the void, it would take too long. How do you want me to help? Yi Mo asked with slight hesitation. Ping Zhou, Immortal King, quickly said, we're at a disadvantage, mainly because there's a level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast at Ping Piao Plains. He killed 4 of our immortal kings, and so we had to retreat and guard the immortal cities. Yuzhong Immortal City, He Lian Immortal City have been annihilated. Even Su Huan Immortal King is trapped in Gulan Immortal City. Master, Su Huan Immortal King has helped me greatly in Qing Mo Immortal City. Shun Bingyu said. Ping Zhou Immortal King dazed. He didn't expect Shun Bingyu to be this brave. She was just taken in, and she dared to say such thing. But at the same time, he respected Shun Bingyu. To be able to say this, it meant that she was a grateful person. Hearing this, Yi Mo nodded immediately. Okay, then let's go see Su Huan. Thank you, immortal friend. Ping Zhou, Immortal King, rejoiced. He didn't expect Jin Bingyu's words to be actually useful. He quickly handed over the city matters to another great Eternity Immortal Peak stage, and he left with Yi Mo to Gulan Immortal City. There was teleportation formation, but it was restricted by the level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast. Luckily, Yi Mo had an extreme grade immortal artifact flying chariot. He used this and arrived at the city in less than a day. The demonic immortal spirit beasts outside were also densely clustered, reaching out more than 1,000 kilometers. They were clearly all level 3 and above. Not good. The city has been broken. Ping Zhou, Immortal King, called out. Yi Mo and Jin Bingyu saw it too. Countless immortals were being attacked by the demonic immortal spirit beasts. Amongst them, a vibrant sword light ravaged the demonic immortal spirit beasts. Each time it moved, countless demonic immortal spirit beasts would disappear. However, it was too lonely. It was impossible for it to kill all the demonic immortal spirit beasts. That's Su Huan Immortal King, she surrounded. Ping Zhou Immortal King said worriedly. That's Su Huan Immortal King, she surrounded. Ping Zhou Immortal King said worriedly. Yi Mo nodded and put away the chariot, taking Ping Zhou Immortal King and Jun Bingyu into the demonic immortal spirit beast crowd. 5 golden-rimmed suns rose up, and instantly 100 km radius was filled with blue light. Yi Mo used on extra sun this time, but the area was smaller. Reduction in area meant a definite increase in damage. Jun Bingyu didn't even have the chance to attack, and Ping Zhou Immortal King could only kill a few demonic immortal spirit beasts under Yi Mo's protection. Because Yi Mo's damage was too powerful, large areas of demonic immortal spirit beasts disappeared under the Heaven Flame 9 suns without resistance. Those few level 7 demonic immortal spirit beast trapping Su Huan Immortal King saw Yi Mo come and immediately gave up on Su Huan. They charged at Yi Mo instead. However, Yi Mo's Immortal King power was more and more consolidated. He was more and more fluent with the Immortal King domain. In a short time, those level 7 demonic immortal spirit beasts were killed. Jun Bingyu quickly started picking up demonic immortal spirit beast cores on the side. Yi Mo created such a huge commotion here, and Su Huan Immortal King immediately knew. She brought people and moved towards Yi Mo gradually. Yi Mo said to Ping Zhou Immortal King, Brother Ping Zhou, protect Bingyu for a bit. I'm going out to kill demonic immortal spirit beasts. Immortal friend, don't worry. I definitely won't let her get injured at all, Ping Zhou Immortal King said. Yi Mo charged into the demonic immortal spirit beasts, and his Heaven Flame 9 suns swept past like crazy. As Yi Mo went, the demonic immortal spirit beasts were like ice upon bright sunlight. They melted quickly, and the area quickly cleared up. The demonic immortal spirit beasts were either killed or drawn away by Yi Mo. The other immortals stopped and looked at Yi Mo in a complete daze. Where did this powerful being come from? He slaughtered demonic immortal spirit beasts like it was as easy as breathing. But soon they reacted and started hunting down small amounts of demonic immortal spirit beasts. Su Huan Immortal King ate a few pills and came up to Ping Zhou Immortal King tiredly. She asked in uncertainty, Martial Brother Ping Zhou, which powerful being did you invite? Who is he? Ping Zhou, Immortal King, laughed. Su Huan, Martial Sister, you should ask Bingyu. She knows more than me. Su Huan, Immortal King, looked at Zhen Bingyu in confusion. Bingyu, you know this person? What is going on? Zhen Bingyu quickly bowed. Qian Bei, I don't know this master. He was interested in me, and Wan Bei was willing to serve him. That's why he came here. Ping Zhou, Immortal King, quickly said, Martial Sister Su Huan, this immortal friend could come here purely because of Zhen Bingyu. Bingyu said she wanted to save you, so he came over immediately. Su Huan immediately quickly said to Zhen Bingyu, Bingyu, thanks a lot. Su Huan felt more curious on the inside. She was more meticulous and knew Zhen Bingyu very well. She wasn't the type to see someone new and move on. When Mo Ing brought her to Qing Mo, Immortal City, she was focused on cultivation and never showed any expression to others. Why was she so devoted to this immortal king? She didn't feel Zhen Bingyu was forced. Otherwise, she wouldn't be acting like this. Su Huan Qianbei, I relied on you two Qianbais taking care of me in Qingmo City. I should do what I can to help. Zhen Bingyu quickly bowed. The three stopped talking. Yi Mo had killed more than half of the demonic immortal spirit beast outside the city. The rest were running like crazy. Yi Mo was faster, and in the blink of an eye, less and less demonic immortal spirit beast were running. After Yi Mo slaughtered a huge amount of demonic immortal spirit beasts, he came to the three. Before Yi Mo said anything, Su Huan, Immortal King, bowed. Su Huan, thanks, immortal friend, for helping. Yi Mo smiled. It's no big deal. This thing is over. If there's nothing else, I'm going. Hearing this, Ping Zhou, Immortal King, and Su Huan, Immortal King, were desperate. Zong Piao Heaven needed a powerful being like Yi Mo to help. If Yi Mo left and the demonic immortal spirit beasts came back, Zong Piao Heaven would still fall. Ping Zhou, Immortal King, wanted Zhen Bingyu to say something, but she said nothing. She wasn't willing to let Yi Mo go Ping Piao Plain to kill demonic immortal spirit beasts. Yi Mo was only Immortal King primary stage, and there was a level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast there. Helplessly, Ping Zhou, Immortal King, could only salute it with his fists. Immortal friend, I'm really ashamed to say this. There's a level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast at Ping Piao Plain. If Immortal Friend leaves, we have to leave Zong Piao Heaven. Otherwise, when the level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast attacks, he would annihilate the entire Zong Piao Heaven. Yi Mo knew what Ping Zhou meant. He thought for a long while that level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast was countered by his cultivation method, and under lightning sand and wave kill, it would at most be level 7 tertiary stage. He should be able to kill it. Su Huan and I can help on the side. We'll use this opportunity to gather the entire power of Zong Piao Heaven and wipe out their base, Ping Zhou, Immortal King, said. Su Huan didn't know how Yi Mo instantly killed Yi Immortal King, and thus was a little shocked at Ping Zhou's request. Yi Mo soon agreed. If Zong Piao Heaven was taken over for a long time, other heaven domains might not be too well too. Soon, all the immortal cities of Zong Piao Heaven knew there was a powerful being to help. 3 days later, from Immortal King to Golden Immortal, were almost all gathered. They all came to Ping Piao Plain. There were another 2 Immortal Kings. They didn't know Yi Mo, but seeing how Ping Zhou and Su Huan were so polite to Yi Mo, they were polite too. Yi Mo didn't see Kai Feng, Immortal King, so he couldn't really ask. Under Yi Mo's leadership, Zong Piao Heaven started a demonic immortal spirit beast massacre. Some people were nervous about this, but after seeing Yi Mo's attacks, they were greatly assured. When they saw that a level 7 demonic immortal spirit beast couldn't even last 1 round with Yi Mo, their morale was greatly boosted. This time, there were a few million immortals charging into the Ping Piao Plains. More immortals were coming incessantly. Soon it was about to be 10 million immortals. Because Yi Mo easily killed some level 6 and level 7 demonic immortal spirit beasts, The rest of the low-level demonic immortal spirit beasts were slaughtered without resistance. In a short day, a little less than half of the demonic immortal spirit beasts here were annihilated, and this was Yi-Mo not attacking with full power. If he did, more than half would be dead. Yi-Mo saved his power for that level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast. With a sharp screech, the immortals immediately felt a powerful space pressure. Some weak heaven immortals even spat blood and fell unconscious. This is the level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast. Everyone retreat. Ping Zhou, Immortal King, yelled. Before he finished, Yi-Mo's force also rose. Although Yi-Mo's force couldn't compare with the level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast's force, it mitigated more than half of it. Yi-Mo's face was serious. He was certain that if he didn't attack, he was no match for this level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast. Yi-Mo said to Su Huan, "Su Huan, immortal friend, I'll leave Bingyu to you for now." Su Huan wanted to help, but hearing this, she could only nod. "Immortal friend, don't worry, Bingyu is my friend. I won't let her get hurt." Ping Zhou, Immortal King, immediately said, "I'll go as well." Ping Zhou, Immortal King, said, "I'll come too." Another Immortal King middle stage next to Ping. Zhou also released a hexagon mace and said, "I'll go help too." Yi-Mo nodded and released Su charging up. In the blink of an eye, 100-meter-tall, huge, demonic, immortal spirit beast appeared before Yi-Mo. This was the first time he saw one this big. Its face was clear. 2 lamp-sized eyes were filled with cold and murderous intent. Ping Zhou, Immortal King, and another Immortal King felt extremely uncomfortable with this qi even though they were behind Yi-Mo. They respected Yi-Mo, who took the full force of it. They were all Immortal Kings, but they were far from Yi-Mo. Ping Zhou, Immortal King, and another Immortal King felt extremely uncomfortable with this qi even though they were behind Yi-Mo. They respected Yi-Mo, who took the full force of it. They were all Immortal Kings, but they were far from Yi-Mo. Yi-Mo used a wave kill the instant he got near this level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast. Yi-Mo saw now that the demonic immortal spirit beast just reached level 8 for no more than 10 years. He couldn't completely control his qi and was in a state of extreme volatility. One could imagine that once the level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast consolidated his qi, he would seem not much of a threat, but he would truly be a threat. Yi-Mo rejoiced. Luckily, it was a newly ascended level 8 immortal spirit beast. If it was a mature level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast, he wouldn't need to try to know that he was no match. Even for now, it would be a bit hard, but he had no choice now. It was unknown if a level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast would be countered by his heaven flame. Yi-Mo could use 4 waves for the wave kill god art now, but in order to not waste immortal essence, he only used 3. The 3 waves went after the huge demonic immortal spirit beast one after another. Luckily, Yi-Mo's wave kill was also 100 meters tall, or he wouldn't even be able to surround this demonic immortal spirit beast. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Then the demonic immortal spirit beast spat out black mist. The black mist clashed with Yi-Mo's wave kill, and the nearby space immediately erupted violently. The space ripples were obvious. The 3 wave kills were engulfed by the mist, and the searing heat gradually dropped low before disappearing. However, this level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast's qi weakened down. The 2 Immortal Kings behind Yi-Mo were experienced and released their magic artifacts to attack without Yi-Mo asking them to. When Yi-Mo's wave kill was engulfed by the black mist, his immortal essence backlashed, and he retreated 100 meters away. However, it wasn't very serious. The other Immortal King middle stage released a hexagonal mace. Meanwhile, Ping Zhou, Immortal King, released a rune with destructive qi. Yi-Mo could tell the rune wasn't simple. It was at least level 8 immortal rune. No wonder Ping Zhou, Immortal King, was confident in fighting this level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast. Before the mace even neared the demonic immortal spirit beast, it was slapped away by a huge claw. Yi Mo instantly released lightning sand. This was the first time Yi Mo used lightning god art. A black lightning spear with some gold and blue color hacked down from the edge of heaven, bringing about a feeling of world annihilation. The demonic immortal spirit beast shivered. This chi gave him an extreme sense of danger. Ping Zhou, immortal king, was dazed. Yi Mo yelled, "Ping Zhou, hurry up and attack, and then take your friend away. Leave this to me." Ping Zhou immediately released the rune, and then listened to Yi Mo retreating with the other immortal king. The demonic immortal spirit beast felt the powerful lightning magic and knew the danger. He spewed out even more black mist, instantly covering up a radius of 100 kilometers. A few 103 kilometers long black mist spears formed. The demonic immortal spirit beast was terrifying, but it was still affected by the heaven flame, and Yi Mo's lightning sword chi had a natural counter to demonic immortal spirit beast. Otherwise, these spears would have long formed. But if they completely formed, none of them would be able to get away. Rumble. An even louder explosion sounded, and those black spears seemed about to cripple. Yi Mo knew this was the work of the rune and urged lightning sand to attack. That 3 kilometers long huge lighting spear struck, and in that instant, the destructive chi tore open the demonic immortal spirit beast's demonic mist barrier instantly. The nearby unstable space shook even more. Thud, rumble. There was explosive chi everywhere in the mist, but Yi Mo could clearly feel the level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast was only heavily injured. Lightning sand struck the demonic immortal spirit beast when he was fighting off the rune. Otherwise, even if lightning sand struck the demonic immortal spirit beast, it might not be injured. The battle was already at this stage. How could Yi Mo give the demonic immortal spirit beast time to breathe? Now that the 2 immortal kings were gone, Yi Mo released World Rock and used another god art Time Mountain Crush. The huge World Rock formed a mountain and smashed directly above the level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast. Yi Mo could feel that the level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast didn't seem to have many god art, nor did he know how to use them properly. Immediately, the level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast sunk into the ground. In a fit of roars, the demonic immortal spirit beast punched the World Rock away while charging out form underground. It turned to run. Yi Mo was shocked. It was this heavily injured, but still didn't die. It was too powerful. But now, its chi had weakened. Yi Mo put away the World Rock and used 4-wave kills. At the same time, Yi Mo hacked out lightning sand again. The already weakened level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast was pinned to the messy ground by lightning sand. Yi Mo sat down fatiguedly. He felt he was too lucky. This level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast never even attacked properly, but it was already this tough. Otherwise, even with the level 8 rune and heaven flame lightning strikes, he wouldn't be able to beat it. As soon as he recovered some immortal essence, Yi Mo felt Shadowless's desperation. Clearly it wanted to devour this level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast, but the guy knew without Yi Mo's approval, he can't come out of the golden page world. 15 minutes later, Yi Mo was about down recovering. Ping Zhou and Su Huan and them all rushed over. A level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast wasn't simple. Even just this body was worth countless immortal crystals. Yi Mo was an immortal king primary stage, and although he had the help or 2 immortal king, it was extremely shocking that he could kill a level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast. Su Huan, immortal king, and them came to thank Yi Mo and respected him even more. This time, Yi Mo accepted their gratitude and put away the level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast. 6 days later, Yi Mo took Shun Binyu and left Zongpiao Heaven. He helped kill some high-level demonic immortal spirit beast, and more than half of the ordinary demonic immortal spirit beast. The rest of them didn't need him to attack anymore. After entering the void, Yi Mo released Space-Time Boat, and threw the demonic immortal spirit beast into the Golden Page world to Shadowless. This time, Yi Mo didn't let Shadowless and Small Ginseng control the Space-Time Boat. Shadowless involved too many things. It wasn't that Yi Mo didn't trust Jun Bingyu, but sometimes secrets are exposed unintentionally. Jun Bingyu didn't go for cultivation. She spoke about her experiences after parting with Yi Mo. He also knew why Kai Feng, Immortal King, didn't appear. He was still in the Dao-seeking tower. Yi Mo also got another news. It was that some people believed he was still inside, while some people felt he left in less than a year. The two weren't lonely on the journey. Yi Mo was now Immortal King, but Jun Bingyu was only Great Unity Immortal. The difference in power was too great. Jun Bingyu thought that when she was Abstruse Immortal Middle Stage, Yi Mo was only Golden Immortal. She knew that she would never be able to catch up to Yi Mo. The difference between them would only become greater and greater. The two weren't lonely on the journey. Yi Mo was now Immortal King, but Jun Bingyu was only Great Unity Immortal. The difference in power was too great. Jun Bingyu thought that when she was Abstruse Immortal Middle Stage, Yi Mo was only Golden Immortal. She knew that she would never be able to catch up to Yi Mo. The difference between them would only become greater and greater. Yi Mo took out a pile of pills of Jun Bingyu. Jun Bingyu didn't reject them. She knew Yi Mo didn't need them anymore. Even so, when she saw the 3 I King pills, she dazed for a long while. Even her master didn't have I King pill. Even Extreme Sword Sect was annihilated because they had Pengyu Immortal Fruit. Now that the sect and her martial brothers and sisters no longer existed, she easily obtained 3 I King pills. Thinking about when she left Gong Hua Heaven with Yi Mo, she felt even more sad. Martial brother, there's still some time before Gong Hua Heaven. I want to go into solitary cultivation. Jun Bingyu suddenly said something completely irrelevant. Yi Mo sighed. He knew what Jun Bingyu thought. Her cultivation progress was too slow and wasn't even Great Unity Immortal Middle Stage. With her talent, if she had large amounts of cultivation resources, she could have reached Great Unity Immortal Tertiary Stage. Okay, try to reach Great Unity Immortal Middle Stage before Gong Hua Heaven. Yi Mo nodded. He had time formation disc, but Jun Bingyu didn't. Space-Time Boat traveled through the void. The distance between Middle and Low Heaven Domain was much smaller than Middle and Grand Heaven Domain. Here, the void chaos flow and asteroid rivers were also much smaller. This way, Space-Time Boat was faster. Yi Mo estimated they would be able to arrive in Gong Hua Heaven in 2 years. A year and a half later, when the Space-Time Boat was near Gong Hua Heaven, Yi Mo sensed Jun Bingyu's chi. Yi Mo knew she reached Great Unity Immortal Middle Stage. Indeed, with Jun Bingyu's talent, if she had resources, her cultivation speed was much faster than his. Jun Bingyu was consolidating her power. Yi Mo didn't disturb her. He slowed down the boat. 10 days later, Yi Mo passed through the domain border and went into Gong Hua Heaven. Yi Mo didn't keep flying the space-time boat here. He stopped and changed his face back to what he originally looked like. He maintained his power to Great Unity Immortal Primary Stage. Some people knew him in Gong Hua Heaven. If he reached Immortal King in just a few decades, this would definitely soon spread across the other heaven domains. With his talent, it was already very absurd that there was Great Unity Immortal Primary Stage. Once Yi Mo stopped the ship, Jun Bingyu stopped cultivation and walked out of the space-time boat. Congratulations, Martial Sister Bingyu. Yi Mo smiled. Jun Bingyu smiled. She was very happy. If she didn't come with Yi Mo, she would need at least another 200 years to reach Great Unity Immortal Middle Stage. Martial brother, what plans do you have? Zhan Bingyu saw Yi Mo hide his power to Great Unity Immortal Primary Stage and asked, Martial sister Bingyu, I want to build my own sect. I have many friends who will meet up at Gonghua Heaven. I must have my own place. Yi Mo said, if Zhan Bingyu didn't have a place to go, he hoped she would join his sect too. Zhan Bingyu was already planning to go with Yi Mo, so she immediately answered, I want to go check out Extreme Sword Sect, then I'll go with Martial Brother to set up a sect. Okay, but I can't set up a sect with my current identity. When I set up sect, I need to use another identity. Yi Mo agreed. It would be a joke for a Great Unity Immortal to set up a sect. Xin Kuan Immortal City. This was Mo's second time coming here. It was still like the same. Xin Kuei Grand Emperor's statue still stood. He thought of the first time he saw this statue, the fervor and desire he had, but now he only had an extremely calm mentality. Yi Mo was no longer a small, abstruse immortal. He was now a status immortal too. Zhan Bingyu sighed. Last time she was carried over here on Yi Mo's back, but now she was Great Unity Immortal Middle Stage. If only her sect wasn't annihilated. Yi Mo immediately noticed something wrong coming into the city. Many eyes stared at him, and Zhan Bingyu. Soon he knew what was wrong. His power was lower than Zhan Bingyu, but Zhan Bingyu followed closely behind him. If Zhan Bingyu was ordinary, looking it would be fine. But after she went through nirvana, she only became prettier. Martial sister Bingyu, you walk at the front. Yi Mo sound transmissioned. Before Zhan Bingyu could react, she heard a crisp voice call out, Martial sister Bingyu. Zhan Bingyu shook and immediately saw Qin Nianmei standing at the window of a spirit rest tower. Qin Nianmei was even more excited. She flew down from the window. It really is you, Martial sister Bingyu. Qin Nianmei was much more mature than before. Yi Mo wondered why she even dared to appear here. Nianmei, is my master okay? Zhan Bingyu asked shakily. Qin Nianmei quickly said, my father and Martial Uncle Ren are both well. Martial Uncle Ren is very worried about you. When she heard you were carried to Middle Heaven Domain, she was even more worried. She was planning to go to Middle Heaven Domain. Oh, by the way, Martial Uncle Ren has become status immortal and is now the Mo Qing Immortal King of Extreme Sword Sect. My father is an Immortal King too. He's Jihe Immortal King. Extreme Sword Sect is rebuilt. Our cultivation levels are going up very fast. I'm almost abstruse Immortal Middle Stage. Martial sister, your power. Only now did Qin Nianmei realize Zhan Bingyu was Great Unity Immortal, now that the number 1 elder and the sect leader both became Immortal King. Freedom King is probably no match for them. If that Freedom King still wanted the Mist Lotus Heart Fire, Yi Mo hoped he would come. Why are you with Martial sister Bingyu? Qin Nianmei just saw Yi Mo next to Zhan Bingyu. To her shock, Yi Mo's power seemed to be obscure, as though much higher than his. Martial sister Bingyu, Qin Nianmei, just relayed that Zhan Bingyu seemed greatly different to before. She was prettier and had less of that cold attitude. Qin Nianmei looked at Yi Mo and then Zhan Bingyu. She really didn't dare to believe these two would be together. She looked at Yi Mo and asked in shock, Yi Mo, you wouldn't be the one who carried Martial sister Bingyu onto that immortal ship, right? Martial sister Nianmei, Martial brother Yi Mo saved me. Zhan Bingyu said, Martial sister Bingyu. Another voice of surprise and joy sounded. Hai Chuanwu's figure appeared before Yi Mo and Zhan Bingyu. Behind him was one man and woman. The woman also came up. Martial sister Bingyu, you're back. She was called Shi Yayo. The man was the only one Yi Mo didn't know. He was Great Unity Immortal Primary Stage and looked ferocious but handsome. He seemed extremely confident. Seeing this man, Qin Nianmei immediately forgot about Yi Mo and quickly held Jun Bingyu's hand. Martial sister Bingyu. This is martial brother Yen Jiutao. He's also a sect member's now. Seeing this man, Qin Nianmei immediately forgot about Yemo and quickly held Jun Bingyu's hand. Martial sister Bingyu. This is martial brother Yen Jiutao. He's also a sect member's now, while Qin Nianmei was ranting nonstop about her boyfriend. Hai Wuchuan looked at Yi Mo with eyes like he was going to kill him. You're Yi Mo? Yen Jiutao looked at Yi Mo plainly and said he had heard of Yi Mo many times. Qin Nianmei brought him in, and Hai Chuanwu belittled Yi Mo more than once in front of him, so he didn't have any good impression of him. Yi Mo acted as though he didn't hear the words. He didn't even want to answer to this arrogant tone. Would an immortal king waste time with a great unity immortal? Yi Mo, martial brother Jiutao is talking to you. Qin Nianmei saw Yi Mo didn't answer Yen Jiutao and immediately became unhappy, reproaching loudly. Without Yen Jiutao, Qin Nianmei had some gratitude towards Yi Mo, but now that Yen Jiutao was here, her focus was on him. Martial sister Bingyu, where do you plan to go now? Yi Mo ignored Qin Nianmei as well. It was purely a deal between them. If Qin Nianmei didn't step on him to please the person she liked, Yi Mo would act like before. But now she can piss off. Jun Bingyu immediately said, Martial brother, I'm going to see my master first. Okay, in that case, I'll be going first. Yi Mo turned to leave without any intention of going up. Qin Nianmei was furious that she was ignored in front of the person she loved, and the person she loved was ignored too. She stared at Yi Mo and said hatefully to Jun Bingyu, Martial sister Bingyu, this person is too rude. But what answered her was Jun Bingyu's back figure, and Jun Bingyu saying, Martial brother Yi Mo, I'll walk you off. Jun Bingyu wasn't going to walk Yi Mo off, but she didn't want to reply to Qin Nianmei. She was the sect leader's daughter, and Jun Bingyu didn't like reproaching martial sisters, so she used this opportunity to leave. Martial sister Bingyu seemed to have changed. She wasn't like this before. Sure, Yi said dazedly, Martial sister Bingyu is innocent, and after staying with that bastard for this long, she would be tricked by him. This bastard, I'll never let him go. Hai Wuchuan said coldly. Yen Jiutao said plainly, when I heard Nianmei mention him, he was only golden immortal middle stage, but now he's great unity immortal primary stage. It seems his talent is quite good. I heard he's a level 3 immortal pill master too. Brother Jiutao, he's just in solo cultivator from a small town. Great unity immortal is his limit. How can he compare with you? Aren't you level 3 immortal pill master too, and about to reach level 4 immortal pill great master? Qin Nianmei explained. Hai Wuchuan laughed, of course. If martial brother Jiutao wasn't so excellent, the sect leader wouldn't loosen up so easy. But this Yi Mo isn't simple. One cauldron of his pill made the sect leader almost marry martial sister Nianmei. Martial brother Hai, Qin Nianmei said unhappily, this person's qi is soft and not sharp. He ignores me on the surface, but he doesn't release any killing intent. One could see he had never been through killing. An immortal who hasn't gone through that will never understand the true secret of being strong. Even if he reaches immortal pill, great master, there's nothing special. Yen Jiutao said calmly. Qin Nianmei said curiously, brother Jiutao, if they really went to Middle Heaven Domain, how could they not experience killing? Yen Jiutao smiled. Martial sister Bingyu didn't admit. If they went, first of all. Second, if they hide in a place to cultivate, I believe no one would know. But I feel this Yi Mo is very attractive. After he left, martial sister Chunma mentioned him more than once. Then she left the sect herself. Sure, Yayo said on the side. Haha, that's not worth mentioning. Yen Jiutao, to him, a person who's stuck in lust would have a limited future no matter how talented he was. Reaching the top was everything. If anything sought his path, he would kick it aside. Even if Qin Nianmei blocked his cultivation, he would kick her away without hesitation. It was because his heart was so firm that he went to the Chaos Star realm alone, become far stronger than his peers. He was Great Unity Immortal Primary Stage, and about to reach level 4 Immortal Pill Great Master. He felt even Middle Heaven Domain or Grand Heaven Domain prodigies were only like this. Your master is here. Before Yi Mo released Flying Magic Artifact after the two left the city, Yi Mo stopped and smiled. Bingyu, you're really back, a voice said with surprise and joy. At the same time, two figures landed. It was Zhen Bingyu's Master Yongren and sect leader Qin Peifu. Master, Zhen Bingyu went up and bowed. She thought she wouldn't get to see her master for her entire life again, but now she saw her master when she just came back to Gonghua Heaven. Yongren was very happy too. Zhen Bingyu was her favorite disciple. She taught her like her own daughter. When she found out that Zhen Bingyu was heavily injured and carried onto an immortal ship, she was almost going to leave Gonghua Heaven and chase over. But Extreme Sword Sect needed to be rebuilt, and she couldn't leave. Freedom King was Immortal King middle stage. She could stop him with Qin Peifu, but if one left, it would be dangerous. I didn't expect it to be you, Bingyu. Was he the abstruse immortal who carried you away? Yongren looked at Yi Mo and asked Zhen Bingyu. Zhen Bingyu quickly said, yes, master. If it wasn't for martial brother Yi Mo, I would be long gone. Hearing this, Yongren was shocked. How could she not have realized her disciple's change? Zhen Bingyu's tone meant that Yi Mo was equally as important to her. Although she was shocked, she kept calm on the surface and smiled to Yi Mo. Thank you for saving my disciples. I looked favorably of you before. You're very good. Yi Mo saluted with his fists. Yi Mo greet sect leader Qin and elder Yang. Qin Peifu was also happy seeing Yi Mo just like before. He smiled. Pill Master Ye's progress is astounding. You were only Golden Immortal before, but now you're Great Unity Immortal. Perhaps your pill concoction skills have skyrocketed too. Yongren sighed. How could she not know what Qin Peifu felt? Qin Peifu really didn't like that Yen Jiutao. He liked this Pill Master Yi. But Pill Master Yi was gone, and Qin Nianmei found the person she really liked. He had no choice but to agree. His mindset also changed a lot too after the sect incident. If it was before, Yongren would persuade Qin Peifu to go with Yi Mo, but now her disciple was with Yi Mo. If her disciple liked Yi Mo too, then of course she would help her disciple. If she wasn't wrong, Yi Mo was probably Immortal Pill Great Master now. But the Tao heart she taught Zhen Bingyu was different to how Zhen Bingyu was acting now. She needed to ask Zhen Bingyu about this. We received Nianmei's messenger flying sword, and knew you were back, so we came. There were so many things Yongren wanted to ask, but she couldn't ask here. Qin Nianmei and them were all walking out of the city. Pill Master Yi, come to Extreme Sword Sect together. It's being rebuilt. When we're done, it will be the top Immortal King sect of Gonghua Heaven. Qin Peifu looked at Yi Mo warmly. Of course he could guess what Yongren could guess too. If he could choose between Yen Jiutao and Yi Mo, he would definitely choose Yi Mo. Yen Jiutao was suitable for being core sect disciple and bring the sect to glory, but not suit bail for son-in-law. Yi Mo saluted with his fists two Immortal King Masters. If I have time, I will come visit again. I'll be off now. Goodbye. Then Yi Mo released Blue Moon and instantly flew off. He didn't want to talk with Hai Chuanwu and them. When Yi Mo left, Yongren sound transmissioned. Be careful of Freedom King. He wants the mist Lotus Heart Fire. Yi Mo waved his hand and disappeared on Blue Moon. Be careful of Freedom King? If that mere Immortal King middle stage dared to come, he would be the first to kill him. This person is too rude. Qin Nianmei and them came up. Yi Mo stood on Blue Moon with a calm mind. It was good that Zhen Bingyu could go back to her master. He had too many things to do now. The first was to find a place with dense, immortal spirit chi for his sect. Yi Mo stood on Blue Moon with a calm mind. It was good that Jun Binyu could go back to her master. He had too many things to do now. The first was to find a place with dense, immortal spirit chi for his sect. Yi Mo didn't plan to set up another immortal city in the immortal realm alone. He was going to build a sect to summon the cultivators from Luo Yu continent. The immortal city still needed to be set up too, but it would be outside the sect. But it's been half a month, and with Yi Mo's speed, he had gone through half of Gonghua heaven. But he still didn't find a place with dense immortal spirit chi, however. He did some good mountains on the way, and collected them into his Golden Page world. He had already collected more than 100 mountains in his Golden Page world. Just when he was thinking if he should call out Small Ginseng or Shadowless, his spirit sense scanned a familiar chariot. Yi Mo heard that immortal music again. Such familiar sound. Before, Freedom King's one wave of spirit sense almost crippled him, giving him an extreme sense of suppression. If he didn't have Bitter Bamboo and Three Birth Chant, he would be traumatized. A few decades later, he was an immortal king now. Thinking about this, Yi Mo breathed. He didn't stop Freedom King, and instead turned to leave. He believed Freedom King would come hunt him. It was his rule that anyone who saw his chariot would have to stop and make way. Now that he turned to leave, how could Freedom King let him go? Plus, Freedom King knew he had missed Lotus Heartfire. He would definitely know what he looked like. The reason he turned to leave was because he didn't want to kill more people. There were at least a few hundred beautiful women on his chariot. Yi Mo's spirit sense scanned Freedom King, but Freedom King's spirit sense took a long while to see Yi Mo, and this was because Yi Mo let him see it. Even Freedom King could only barely see Yi Mo's figure leave, much less the other people on the chariot. Seeing someone dare to leave after seeing his chariot, Freedom King was furious. To him, when his immortal music sounded, who didn't know it was him? Yet this guy dared to leave after hearing it. Just when Freedom King wanted to use spirit sense to suppress Yi Mo, he felt the chi of Mist Lotus Heartfire. Freedom King rose up out of the chariot and said, "Wait for me here, I'll be back soon." He had to speed up as that chi was about to disappear. Yi Mo saw Freedom King chase over and sneered. This guy should be called Arrogant King. All this guy did was ride in his chariot, floating around, every day showing off. It's you indeed. You run quite fast. 15 minutes later, Freedom King stopped Yi Mo. Ha! Freedom King laughed hysterically. I regretted so much letting you go before, but now it seems what is mine will be mine. My South Abyssal Hollow Flame is ready for Nirvana. I heard you're a pill master too, right? Perhaps you can work for me. I don't have to kill you. You can be my dog. Suddenly, Freedom King stopped. He felt things wasn't right. Yi Mo didn't seem to be scared at all. His face was very calm. "You're not scared of me?" Freedom King actually asked. Yi Mo said slowly, "You think it seems I'm scared of you. If I tell you that I've been waiting for you, would you believe it? Are you an idiot? Those years ago, I could hide the Mist Lotus Heartfire and prevent you from noticing. After all these years, you can sense it instead. Do you think you're immortal monarch or immortal emperor?" Freedom King shook. That was true. He chased over when he sensed the Mist Lotus Heartfire. He didn't sense it before, but he sensed it now. This thought flashed, and Freedom King expanded his domain and grabbed at Yi Mo. He didn't need to use domain at all against a mere great unity immortal, but he was scared by Yi Mo's words. Yi Mo sneered and punched. Freedom King felt his domain crippled like rag doll, and then shatter under Yi Mo's domain. "You're an immortal king." Before Freedom King finished, he was swept by Yi Mo's fist wind whirlpool. Rumble. Freedom King couldn't even release immortal artifact and was punched away. His immortal essence crippled, and he spat many mouthfuls of blood. Before Freedom King could even think of running, Yi Mo appeared before him and grabbed Freedom King in his hand like a little chicken. Freedom King was full of shock. Wasn't Yi Mo just a small golden immortal? He was already very shocked that he reached great unity immortal, but now he was clearly an immortal king, a very powerful one. He was instant killed. Immortal friend, Qianbei, have mercy, Freedom King said worriedly. Just when Yi Mo wanted to take Freedom King to a place for interrogation, his spirit sense saw a few familiar people. He reproached, "How did you know I had missed Lotus Heart Fire? And why did you annihilate Extreme Sword Sect? Don't attack, I'll say it." Freedom King no longer had that emperor feeling. He was like a rich second-generation shivering. Yi Mo couldn't help shake his head. Yi Mo didn't even do anything. And this Freedom King said shakily, because Qin Pei Fu and Yang Ren found some good things in a ruin. This included a bottle of King pill. I heard from Gong Sunin, it's also Gong Sunin, who said you had missed Lotus Heart Fire. So I used that little girl as excuse, that girl called Chen Bingyu. I saw her once, she seemed not bad. So, the more he spoke, the more Freedom King felt Yi Mo's killing intent. Yi Mo realized, so it was Gong Sunin, this old bastard. He was friends with Qin Pei Fu, and probably knew what Qin Pei Fu got. "Qianbei, spare me, I'm willing to be your dog," Freedom King begged. Yi Mo thought it was good to have a henchman to do things for him, but he soon gave up the thought. This was too dangerous. Even if he controlled Freedom King's essence spirit and could kill him at any time, his secret could still be spilled. If news of him reaching Immortal King from Golden Immortal in a few decades got out, immortal emperors would be lining up to find him. Thinking about this, Yi Mo smashed out his immortal essence. Freedom King, who had dominated Gonghua Heaven for countless years, was easily killed. A white-purple flame floated in the air. It had 3 golden colors. It was Purple Nirvana Level 3. Yi Mo set up a few restriction and quickly put it inside a box. He knew this was South Abyss Hollow Flame, ranked 7th amongst all the heaven flames. The next moment, he took a ring too. Yi Mo didn't have much hope towards this ring. After all, he killed 2 Immortal King tertiary stage and didn't get much. But when Yi Mo's spirit sense scanned inside, he was dazed. There were piles of level 7 and level 8 Immortal Spirit Herb, and even 1 level 9 Immortal Spirit Herb. There were 5 billion Immortal Crystals and 2 middle grade and 3 low grade Immortal ranges. After taking the ring, Yi Mo put a mask on his face and changed into a blue-robed, skinny middle-aged man before heading to the people he saw before. At the entrance to a valley, a few immortals were discussing. Martial Sister Jiang, I don't want to go to Mo Heaven's Yi Shuang Immortal Sect. Brother Yi said he would come Gonghua Heaven. I want to go adventure with him. One bulky man said with a frown. There was a dark, skinny female immortal next to the man. She immediately said, "Sister-in-law, I want to wait for Brother Yi, with Brother Yi at Gonghua Heaven." "You really want to go to Mo Yi Heaven?" It was an extremely pretty woman being asked. Her body was also very good. She immediately said, "Brother Yi, Aju. Of course I wouldn't go to Mo Yi Heaven alone. Brother Yi has helped us a great deal. Since we're here, of course we're going to wait for Brother Yi. Pill Master Yi taught me when my wife and I were fleeing around. Pill Master Yi took us in. We're going to wait for Pill Master Yi here like Brother Yi. If it wasn't for Pill Master Yi, I would still be around Golden Immortal." One abstruse immortal primary stage handsome man said. These were Yi Tung, Tongzhu, and Jiang Jin that Yi Mo met at Blackweed Town, as well as North Far State Immortal Herb Valley founding father Lu Zhongyan, and his wife Lu Man. Hearing this, a rather chubby man said worriedly, "It's fine if we stay here, but Martial Sister Jiang Jin has passed through the first round of test and was chosen by Zishuang sect. If we don't go to the second test, I'm afraid they might get angry." Yes, I heard that elder say that Martial Sister Jiang Jin is a natural seduction body. If we annoy such a big sect, we wouldn't even know how we die. A female immortal next to the chubby man said worriedly. Jiang Jin sighed. "If I knew this, I wouldn't have gone to the test. It's me who is to blame. I just saw they were taking insects, but I didn't ask which heaven domain they were from. I didn't expect why heaven would come to Gonghua heaven for disciple. This is very rare. Yi Tung frowned. Before Yi Tung finished, he stopped and said respectfully, Qian Bei. The rest of them all called Qian Bei respectfully. A blue-robed, skinny, middle-aged man suddenly appeared before them. Are you guys Yi Tung, Tong Zhu, Jiang Jin, Lu Zhongyan, and Lu Man? Yi Mo asked. He didn't know the other man and woman. Yi Mo trusted them, but he didn't want to casually expose his identity. Yes, Qian Bei. It's us, Yi Tung quickly said. These few people were very nervous. They couldn't see Yimo's power. He was quite possible a great immortal. If this great immortal was from Zi Shuang sect, then what they said was inappropriate. Yi Mo nodded. I'm Yimo's martial brother. Yi Mo is in solitary cultivation right now. He asked me to come to Gonghua heaven and help him establish a sect. He mentioned you guys to me and showed me what you look like. I was planning to go to Blackweed Town to find you, but I didn't expect to be able to see you guys here. Saves me some time. Yi Tung and them dazed. They came to Gonghua heaven to find Yi Mo, but it had been a few decades, and there was no news of Yi Mo. They didn't feel Yi Mo had left. They thought their power was too low and couldn't find the entire Gonghua heaven. Qian Bei, you're really sent by Brother Yi? Tong Zhu asked nervously. Yi Mo smiled, of course. Yi Mo said you guys would either be in Blackweed Town or Gonghua heaven. It's so indeed. He said wants to set up a sect so that all the cultivators who ascended from Luo Yu continent can gather here. This sect will be called MOU Immortal Sect. If you guys are willing to join, then come find a sect ground with me. If not, I won't coerce you. I believe I'm willing to join, Yi Tung said immediately. Yi Mo mentioned to him about setting up a sect called MOU before. Plus, who would be that bored to come trick them? Their talent wasn't great, and they were very poor. I'm willing. Other than the two Yi Mo didn't know, the rest all agreed. Yi Mo was very happy. You guys don't need to call me Qian Bei. Just call me Martial Brother Luo. I will be providing the cultivation method you guys will be using. Yi Mo said. Hearing this, everyone else other than Yi Tung was very happy. Yi Tung said yes, Martial Brother Luo, but Martial Sister Jiang Jin was favored by Zishuang Immortal Sect. Yi Mo smiled and waved his hand. I already heard your conversation. She only went through the first round test, so she wasn't a part of the sect yet. Plus, in the low heaven domain, Zishuang Immortal Sect was at most an Immortal King sect. Martial Brother Luo, Zhui Weshan and Xue Miyu have been teaming PU with us. Would they be able to join too? Yi Tung pointed at the two Yi Mo didn't know and asked. Yi Mo saw that one was Golden Immortal Tertiary Stage and one Golden Immortal Middle Stage. Yi Tung was only Golden Immortal Peak Stage now. Tong Zhu and Jiang Jin were just Golden Immortal Primary Stage. Of course, our sect is being built. We need to take in disciples. Of course, I will welcome them. Yi Mo smiled to the two. Since you guys all joined, we're willing to join too. Zhui Weshan and Xue Miyu said at the same time. Yi Mo nodded. The friends Yi Tung made were good. If it was some ordinary person, he might wait for a while. After all, the Zishuang Immortal Sect thing wasn't over. Okay, then we'll all be part of the same sect. I'll be the Martial Brother. The rules of the sect will be decided by us. Yi Mo then took out tens of immortal artifacts and said, each one of you can pick 3. As the founders of MOU Immortal Sect, you can't not have good magic artifact. Top grade attack immortal artifact, top grade flying immortal artifact, top grade defense immortal artifact. All of them took in a cold breath. These things were used by big sections. Since when could they get to use it? Even if they had it, they wouldn't dare to use it. It would be robbed immediately. What shocked them even more was to follow. Yi Mo threw out 7 storage rings. There are pills in these rings, including Great Unity Pill, 1 each. Hearing this, The 7 were completely dazed. Such pills were only used by core disciples of top sects in the low heaven domain. Yet this Marshall Brother Luo gave them so much. Put the things away. Mo, you immortal sect, will be built in the grand heaven domain in the future. These things are really nothing. Yi Mo reminded. Finally, they put the magic artifact and storage rings away. They were more excited about the future now. How could someone who took out this many good things be ordinary? Yi Mo then said, now, we need to find a place to build the sect. You guys have been in Gong Hua Heaven for a while. Do you know which place is good immortal spirit Qi? Zhui Yuesheng's heart was still beating fast. He almost felt this wasn't real. He wouldn't be able to afford these things after a few thousand years, but now it just appeared in his hand out of thin air. After getting so much, he was desperate to help build the sect, so he got up and said, Marshall Brother Luo, I know a place. It's very large, and the immortal spirit Qi is extremely dense. There's mountains and rivers nearby. It's a beautiful place. Where is it? Yi Mo asked desperately. Zhui Yuesheng quickly said, it's good, but a level 7 immortal spirit beast appeared there once, and in the depth there are poison mists. Even great eternity immortal wouldn't dare to go in. But I heard that the poison mist can be drawn away by formation. I just don't know if it's real or not. Brother Zhui, are you talking about Shang Lai Immortal Mountains? Yi Tung immediately asked. Shang Lai Immortal Mountain was very famous in Gonghua Heaven. The immortal spirit Qi here was dense, but one couldn't cultivate here, as there was poison inside. Shang Lai Immortal Mountain was very famous in Gonghua Heaven. The immortal spirit Qi here was dense, but one couldn't cultivate here, as there was poison inside. Now, the group had appeared at the outskirts of Shang Lai Immortal Mountain. It looked obscure from a distance. There seemed to be a few extremely high peaks inside with clouds circulating around. In the middle, there was a huge lake that was nearly 100 km square area. This place was indeed a good place to build sect. Many sects have come prospecting here, but they couldn't draw away the poison. Even if they did, it would come back after a while. Therefore, no one came here. Zhui Yuesheng said. Yi Mo thought for a moment and took out a jade slip and drew out the grand immortal sites of the grand heaven domain on it. After some thought, he drew some special features of Mo, Yu City onto the jade slip. Then he gave it to Yi Tung and said, this is the plan for the immortal city. You guys set up an immortal city on the outskirt of the Shang Lai Immortal Mountain. The size can be the size of average immortal cities. Yi Tung took the jade slip and said, Marshall Brother Luo, what if we can't draw away the poison? There was something else he didn't say. Usually, it was immortal king sects that could build a mortal city on the border of the sect. Yi Mo simleed and took out 50 immortal crystals cards to Yi Tung. There's 5 billion immortal crystals here. Just go build it. 50 billion is far from enough for an immortal city, but you don't need to save. You can hire large amounts of immortals to build. As for building a sect on the mountain, I will deal with it. These people were completely dazed. Yi Mo took out 50 billion immortal crystals in one go. What was this? This Marshall Brother Luo was too wealthy. They had never even seen more than a few million immortal crystals. And Yi Mo just took out 5 billion straight up. Yi Mo hesitated for a moment and said, these immortal crystals are definitely too enough, but just use them. The city needs to look grand. Don't be scared of wasting materials. As for formations, you don't need to find people to set them up. Our city will be called MOU Immortal City. If people are willing to invest in here or open by business or live here, you can record them based on the situation. I'll come out after I remove the poison mist. This place can be called MOU Immortal Mountain now. Okay, Marshall Brother Luo, I will definitely do this well. Yi Tung said firmly. Yi Mo nodded and took out a jade card to Yi Tung. This is a protection jade card. If there's anything, crush it, and I will come immediately. Yi Mo was going inside the mountain to remove the mist. He can't watch them with spirit sense all the time. They were too weak, and people would definitely notice them setting up a mortal city here. Seeing Yi Emo really take out all these things to build the city, everyone was overjoyed. If the city was built, they would be ancestor-level immortals. When they saw Yi Emo starting to build mountain protection formation, they immediately realized why Martial Brother Luo said they didn't need to invite people to set up formation. He was an immortal formation great master. Yi Emo came from Earth and knew that if any sect and power wanted to develop, there needed to be a flow of trade and a chain of supply. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to progress. He didn't know how many people would be ascending from Luo Yu continent, but he knew clearly that he can't provide cultivation resources for everyone. The sect members needed to go find it themselves and trade. Mo Yu Immortal City would be providing a platform for this trade. Yi Mo went into the mountain and set up another stealth formation. Of course, this can't hide the entire mountain. He didn't have that much materials to. The reason he set up the stealth formation was to call out Shadowless. Can you devour the poison mist here? Yi Mo called out Shadowless and asked. According to his understanding, there was nothing Shadowless couldn't devour. Shadowless sniffed and suddenly said happily, "Boss, this is good thing, but there's no use in me devouring it." Yi Mo said with annoyance, "Of course, I know it's useless for you to devour it. You devoured a level 8 demonic immortal spirit beast core, and you still can't reach Heaven Tao tertiary stage. It would be strange if this little mist would be enough for you." Shadowless smiled, "Boss, I don't mean it that way. I mean that if I devour the mist, it would soon come out again. It's released by something." "Oh, what is it?" Yi Mo thought the poison mist was naturally occurring. Shadowless said, "I heard Small Ginseng say that there's an immortal spirit beast called Spirit Feasting Beast in the immortal realm. It eats immortal range and immortal minds. It's completely white and very small. It can also store extreme, pure, immortal spirit chi inside its body. After it eats immortal range, it would refine its body and remove any impurities. The poison mist or the impurities. It seems you have learned quite a lot with Small Ginseng. This beast is probably something you want to eat. Catch this beast. If I'm in a good mood, I might let you eat it." Yi Mo immediately knew from Shadowless's tone that it wanted to eat the beast. Shadowless quickly said, "Boss, I can't catch it. There's definitely an immortal range here. And it hasn't been found, meaning there's a top-grade natural stealth formation. Only Small Ginseng would be able to find it." Small Ginseng said Spirit Feasting Beast are the previous form of immortal marrow crystal. Many immortal wells are formed after the beast dies. As soon as Small Ginseng was called out, it said, "Boss, I can find this natural formation." Then Small Ginseng charged into the mist. Yi Mo followed Small Ginseng, and Shadowless could only follow behind Yi Mo. Small Ginseng passed through some valleys and caves for hours later. He came before a waterfall and pointed at a small lake. "If you go down from here, you can see the natural stealth formation." Yi Mo felt a dense, immortal spirit chi here. If Small Ginseng didn't show him the way, he really wouldn't be able to find it here. "Can you enter the formation?" Yi Mo asked. Small Ginseng said, "I can, but the beast is very cunning. If it's startled, it would flee immediately. It's very fast. There's no one who can chase up to it." Yi Mo said, "Don't worry. I'm certain it can't get away. He was an immortal king, and he's prepared. If a small immortal spirit beast still got away, then it would be really embarrassing." Hearing this, Small Ginseng moved and said, "Come with me." Yi Mo and Shadowless followed Small Ginseng into the earth. They walked for 1,000 steps before the view opened up. They arrived at a small space that was tens of km squared area. There were 3 top-grade immortal ranges placed neatly. Clearly, the other empty spaces were for immortal ranges, but it was all gone. There's enough room for at least 9 top-grade Small Ginseng, but this bastard at 6. "Small Ginseng, tell me where that bastard is. I'm going to eat him." Shadowless said. Yi Mo knew that Shadowless said this so he could eat the beast, but he didn't care. He patted Small Ginseng's head and said, "Not bad, you can actually come in such high-level natural immortal formation. Very good." Small Ginseng said with embarrassment, "Boss, I'm just sensitive to natural formation. If it's formation set by some master, I can't go in." At the same time, a white figure many times faster than lighting struck across and disappeared. Small Ginseng quickly said, "Boss, that's the spirit-feasting beast. Catch him. If he gets out of this space, we'll never be able to find it again. This guy would turn into immortal marrow crystal, or the source of an immortal well." Yi Mo already expanded his domain and used tens of spirit sense nets to block off the surrounding. An ordinary immortal king really wouldn't be able to stop it. Yi Mo already expanded his domain and used tens of spirit sense nets to block off the surrounding. An ordinary immortal king really wouldn't be able to stop it. The spirit-feasting beast doesn't have much batter power. Its main ability was super speed. In his domain and spirit sense domain, the beast soon slowed down. Yi Mo could feel the powerful immortal spirit chi wave of the beast. Who knows how many immortal ranges this guy had devoured. Yi Mo grabbed with immortal essence hand, and the spirit-feasting beast was in his hands. Shadowless came over looking pitifully at Yi Mo. Yi Mo didn't look at Shadowless. The spirit-feasting beast chi was immediately gone when it came into his hands. There was only the terrifying immortal spirit chi. Small Ginseng quickly said, "Boss, it would lose its life force if any foreign chi got a hold of him. But after that, it would immediately turn into immortal marrow crystal. The immortal spirit chi inside, the most pure, its cultivation effect is many times better. Some of them would turn into immortal marrow crystal after devouring many immortal ranges. Then, after countless years, it would turn into all sorts of immortal wells. There's 9 immortal ranges here. I'm afraid someone is keeping it." So that's how immortal wells came to be. This was the first time Yi Mo heard of it, but this might just only be one of the ways immortal wells were formed. Yi Mo said, "This is a natural formation. It's very hard for people to find. It might not be kept by someone." At this moment, the dead spirit-feasting beast turned into an immortal marrow crystal bigger than a cooking pot. Yi Mo thought that if he could devour this, he might reach immortal king middle stage, or even tertiary stage. At the same time, Yi Mo thought that if he placed this in Mou Immortal Mountain, it could definitely form an extremely dense immortal well. Should he use it for cultivation or build an immortal well? Yi Mo was indecisive. As for giving it to Shadowless, he had long forgotten about it. Seeing Yi Mo hold the crystal, Shadowless called in a whine. Yi Mo immediately said, "You can't eat this. If you eat it one go, you will burst." Yi Mo believed that even Shadowless wouldn't be able to eat such a dense crystal in one go. "I can eat it slowly, one bite at a time," Shadowless argued. This wasn't easy to decide now. He did agree to Shadowless, but it was such a waste to give such a good thing to Shadowless. Thinking about this, Yi Mo coughed, "Can you reach Immortal Tao if you eat it?" Shadowless hesitated for a long while and said, "Probably not." "Then you still want me to give you something this good to eat? How many people could break through with this? Stop wasting food." Yi Mo reproached in embarrassment. "I knew it would be like this," Shadowless said. "Go devour the poison mist the spirit-feasting beast. Let out. That can be your reward." Yi Mo patted Shadowless's head. Shadowless grumbled, "Boss, don't trick me with such low-level tricks. If you want me to do things, then I'll do it. Don't make it seem like a reward." Helplessly, Yi Mo could only take out that level 9 Immortal Spirit Beast core and gave it to Shadowless. "That's your reward." This is good. Boss, you have so many good things. With this beast core, I can definitely reach tertiary stage." Shadowless ate the core. Immediately, Yi Mo put away the 3 top-grade immortal range and said, "If there's a sliver of poison mist left, you're over." I promise there won't be half a sliver left, Shadowless said, and rushed out to work. A day later, Shadowless and Small Ginseng returned to the Golden Page world. The poison mist was gone, and Shadowless desperately went back to the Golden Page world to refine the beast core. Yi Mo stayed at the main peak of the Mo Immortal Mountain thinking about how to set up this formation. Although he put away the immortal ranges, the immortal spirit chi here was still much better than ordinary places. After 3 days, Yi Mo derived a defense formation. 100,000 void defense kill formation. This immortal formation would be set up with 100,000 refined mountains as formation flags. Each formation flag was closely linked. These were the clear formation flags. There would also be a set of stealth formation flags. These 2 sets formed a defense and attack immortal formation. The good thing is that it can be upgraded at any time. Yi Mo could only set up level 6 peak immortal formation now. There wasn't 100,000 peaks in his Golden Page world, but there were 1,000. With the mountain peaks already here, there were about 1,200 mountain peaks. These were enough for the formation to be level 6 peak. Yi Mo put all the peaks around the Mo Immortal Mountain into the Golden Page world and left the main peak. He would spirit control the main peak outside while the rest inside the Golden Page world. Yi Mo took out the time formation disk and used a day to spirit control the main peak. Then he went inside the Golden Page world and used time formation disk to spirit control the other ones. The main peak of the mountain had 1,000 km radius and soared into the clouds. The rest of the peaks were from a few km to tens of km radius. The biggest was only a few hundred km radius. 2 months outside the time formation disk had passed, and Yi Mo had spirit-controlled all the peaks. Yi Mo left the Golden Page world and was about to set up formation when he felt the jade card he gave Yitung was crushed. Yi Mo was very assured with Yitung. He wouldn't crush the jade card if there wasn't something special. The next moment, Yi Mo appeared at the border of the mountain. The framework of a huge immortal city was there. Not even 10% of the city had been completed, but it already showed its grand force. But Yi Mo was furious. Yitung was bleeding over his face and suppressed to the ground. Lu Zhongyan and Zhuo Yuesheng next to them were also bleeding from a powerful force. The tens of golden immortal cultivators and below were fell to the ground. It was a great eternity immortal tertiary stage, suppressing him. Yi Mo sneered, and a powerful force flew out like crazy. That great eternity immortal was immediately smashed away into a rock. Yitung and them instantly felt relieved. It was as though the mountain on them had been removed. Martial brother Luo, Yitung called out in surprise and joy. Yi Mo flicked a few pills into their mouths and asked, "What is going on?" Yitung saw Yi Mo easily sweep away a great eternity immortal with his force and was very shocked. He immediately said, "We were building the city and hired a lot of people because we bought too many materials and they were too precious. 5 days ago, a few great immortals came here. Among them were people from Zishuang immortal sect. They came to take away Jiangjin. The other people saw the work here was huge and the poison mist were gone, so they said this was their land. They also sent out many news saying that the poison mist here was gone and people could come here to take land. Where is Jiangjin?" Yi Mo's tone had a sliver of killing intent. Yuseng immediately said martial sister Jiangjin had been taken away by Zishuang immortal sect people. Martial brother Yitung immediately crushed the jade card, and we were suppressed by that person. The great eternity immortal tertiary stage came to his senses. Just Yi Mo's force almost tore him apart. He was already scared before Yi Mo spoke to him. He was a great eternity immortal tertiary stage, and he almost died from Yi Mo's force. Yi Mo might even be an immortal monarch. Chen Bei, this great eternity immortal, said fearfully, "You said that my land is yours, and you're going to take my people?" If I didn't come, were you going to kill everyone here? Yi Mo asked frigidly. Yes, no, no. The great eternity immortal couldn't even speak. Yi Mo raised his hand and hacked out a sword ray. One arm immediately fell off. Yi Mo asked coldly, where was Jiang Jin taken to? Who took her? Jiang Jin was taken by Zishuang Immortal Sect. It has nothing to do with me. I'm just Peng Xie, Immortal City's Immortal Ride Merchant Tower Manager. The Great Eternity Immortal said in horror. He didn't expect MOU Immortal City's background was this strong. To him, Yi Mo was definitely an Immortal King tertiary stage. Although their power was stronger in the Peng Xie Immortal City, this place wasn't Peng Xie Immortal City. Even Immortal King wouldn't have time to save him. Jiang Jin was taken by Zishuang Immortal Sect. It has nothing to do with me. I'm just Peng Xie Immortal City's Immortal Ride Merchant Tower Manager. The Great Eternity Immortal said in horror. He didn't expect MOU Immortal City's background was this strong. To him, Yi Mo was definitely an Immortal King tertiary stage. Although their power was stronger in the Peng Xie Immortal City, this place wasn't Peng Xie Immortal City. Even Immortal King wouldn't have time to save him. Seeing this Great Eternity Immortal can't speak properly, Yi Mo threw another sword ray. Another one, his ear disappeared. Then, Yi Mo's voice sounded, be specific. If you can't, then I will sever your hands and feet slowly. Yes, yes, I'll say it. The Great Eternity Immortal used Immortal Essence to stop the bleeding and said MOU Immortal City had bought too much materials lately. We merchants are bewildered. Then we got some news, so we came to see. At the same time, Zishuang Immortal Sect found out that Jiang Jin was here. So they took her. There's some connections between us, so we came together. After coming here, we saw the poison mist was gone, and there's about to be a beautiful city built here. So we were all interested. Other than me, the rest of the people had gone back to Peng Xie Immortal City to discuss how to divide things. Because Jiang Jin is here, Zishuang Immortal Sect wants a share too. Martial brother Luo, Tong Zhu, and Meishu also went with Jiang Jin. Shui Weshing said. Yi Mo nodded and waved his hand, sealing the immortal essence of this great eternity immortal. Then he said to Yi Tung and Shui Weshing, you two come with me to Peng Xie Immortal City. Then Yi Mo gave Lu Zhongyan a jade card. You and Lu Man stay here to build the city. I will be back soon. There's 3 of my spirit sense attacks in the jade card. If someone dares to attack the city, use it. Yes, Martial brother Luo, Lu Zihongyan answered. Yi Mo let him see what was real power. A possible great eternity immortal was defenseless against Martial brother Luo. This meant that Martial brother Luo might be an immortal king. Yi Tung brought up the great eternity immortal on the ground and jumped on a top-grade flying immortal artifact Yi Mo released. Peng Xie Immortal City wasn't close to MOU Immortal Mountain. Yi Mo only used a very ordinary top-grade flying immortal artifact and took less than half a day to arrive. The abstruse Immortal City guards saw Yi Mo still flying in the air restriction and was about to go up to stop them. But when they saw the guy missing an arm and an ear in Yi Tung's hands, they immediately stopped. No one didn't know the guy in Yi Tung's hands. He was the #1 manager of the #1 merchant tower in the city, Shin Ing, Great Eternity Immortal Tertiary Stage. Yet, such a master was subjugated into that state. Who would dare to go up? They could only report this to City Lord, an Immortal Ride Merchant Association. When Yi Mo went into the city, he scanned his spirit sense out. There was spirit sense restriction everywhere, but they were like broken nets to Yi Mo. Yi Mo came to assert dominance. How could he be merciful? For MOU City to stand in Gonghua heaven, he wouldn't be able to suppress those ambitious people if he didn't assert dominance. The immortal realm was like the cultivation realm. Power was everything. The city lord of Peng Xie Immortal City was a great eternity immortal peak stage. When he heard that someone dared to break the rules and take down the manager of Immortal ride merchant tower, he was furious and was about to charge out. But then he felt a powerful spirit sense ravage through the spirit sense restrictions in the city. He was dazed. With such power, going up was suicide. These spirit sense restrictions were like eggshells to Yemo. What can he a mere great eternity immortal peak stage do? Even if he wanted to suck up to Immortal Ride Merchant Association, he can't lose his life. The next moment, he sat back into his seat and calmed himself down. This wasn't something he could intervene in. All he had to do was suck up to the winner at the end of this. Immortal Ride Merchant Association was the #1 merchant association in Gong Hua Heaven. Even in the rest of the low heaven domains, it was famous and had business everywhere. The reason it was so famous was because the #1 association leader was an immortal king primary stage peak, with the large amount of resources of the merchant association. Zhang Zheng's power rose rapidly. He might even reach immortal king middle stage in another few DX. At this moment, the top floor of the Grand Hall of Immortal Ride Merchant Association was filled with people. Zhang Zheng was sitting at the top. Next to him was a purple-robed Great Eternity Immortal Peak stage. He was the vice sect leader of Zi Shuang Immortal Sect Ji Wuliang. Ji Wuliang was about to sit there because Zi Shuang Immortal Sect was an Immortal King sect. The sect leader Li Kai was an Immortal King middle stage. Ji Wuliang had a face full of smile and said, "We Zi Shuang Immortal Sect are outsiders after all. We don't want to intervene in that Shanglai Immortal Mountain. As for Shanglai Immortal City, we just want 10% of the land. Of course, we're willing to listen to Bi Qian, Immortal King Master, on the specifics of the share." Yes, sect leader Ji is right. We should listen to Bai Qian, Immortal King Master. Another bearded Great Eternity Immortal got up and said. He was the manager of the second largest merchant tower in the city, Half-God Merchant Tower Hongcheng. With these two opening up, the rest of the people all got up, saying they were willing to listen to Bai Qian Immortal King. Bai Qian Immortal King Zheng smiled, since everyone says, so I won't be too polite. Shanglai Immortal Mountain has always been surrounded by poison mist. Since the mist is gone, it's a great thing for Gong Hua Heaven. The immortal spirit Qi, there is dense. Our merchant association is all over Gong Hua Heaven, but we don't have a sect ground. Zheng paused, and after seeing no one objected, he nodded happily. I'm planning to use it as the sect grounds for Immortal Ride Merchant Association. The city will be shared by everyone, other than the 10% Zi Shuang Immortal Sect takes. Everyone else can share the rest. I believe with its location, Shanglai Immortal City will be the #1 immortal city of Gong Hua Heaven. Plus, everyone saw the framework of the city. It's grand indeed. There has never been such a grand immortal city in Gong Hua Heaven. The founder is indeed talented. Everyone agreed in unison. Yi Mo's spirit sense blades pierced countless spirit sense restrictions and found the most luxurious building in the city. It had the 4 golden words, Immortal Ride Merchant Tower. At the top of the building was a grand hall. There were some people gathered there, other than some maids. The weakest were Great Eternity Immortal primary stages. There was even one Immortal King. At the same time, Yi Mo's spirit sense saw Jiangjin, Tongzhu, and Xuemeishu. They were locked in a room, but weren't hurt. Yi Mo scanned the hall. The Immortal King was vigilant and got up in shock. Seeing this, everyone looked at Bai Qian Immortal King in confusion. Yi Mo just came here and heard these people discussing how to share MOU Immortal City, and he was furious. The next moment, the door to the hall, as well as the restriction, was kicked open. Pity, I won't allow it. Yi Mo's voice, filled with bleak killing intent, sounded. Everyone looked at the door, then they saw manager Zhening. However, this glorious manager has lost an arm and ear. He was also in the hands of a small golden immortal. Everyone looked at the door, then they saw manager Zhening. However, this glorious manager has lost an arm and ear. He was also in the hands of a small golden immortal. No one in the hall moved. They all looked at Zhenzheng. When Zhenzheng saw Yimo, he suppressed his fury. He could tell Yimo was immortal king primary stage, but his immortal essence was immeasurable. You're an immortal king too. Why did you break into our meeting hall? Do you think the Immortal Ride Merchant Association is easy to abuse? Zhenzheng said coldly. Yimo grabbed Jining and threw him into the center before sneering, I didn't think Immortal Ride Merchant Association is easy to abuse, but do you think my MO, you Immortal Mountain, is easy to abuse? MO, you Immortal Mountain? Where is that from? I've never heard of this Immortal Mountain. Friend, is this a misunderstanding? Zhenzheng was furious. He was certain this was a misunderstanding. He wasn't going to let things go like this. Yi Tung saw the immortal king of Immortal Ride Merchant Association didn't even dare to fight Yimo immediately. How could he not know Martial Brother Luo is an immortal king too? He immediately got out and said, Mo, you immortal is the previous Shang Lai Immortal Mountain. Our Martial Brother Luo removed the poison mist and told us to set up Mo, you immortal city and sect, but you guys want to take over it by force, and you also robbed Martial Sister Jiang Jin. With this, everyone understood what happened. Zhenzheng clearly understood what happened too. Mo, you Immortal Mountain's background was an immortal king, but even so he was scared. He laughed instead, that's right. My Immortal Ride Merchant Association is interested in Mo, you Immortal Mountain. You're a mere foreign immortal king, and you dare to set up a sect in Gong Hua Heaven quietly. Since you're an immortal king too, I've give you some face. I'm going to take the mountain, and that city, I'll compensate you 1 billion immortal crystals. As for injuring my manager, I'll let it go. Mo smiled and couldn't be bothered talking anymore. He waved out a flame, and Jining turned to flying dust. You're asking to die. Bai Qian Immortal King yelled in fury and released a red ray that instantly loomed over Mo. The rest of the great eternity immortals spat blood from the powerful immortal king pressure. Mo waved his hand, and Bai Qian Immortal King's terrifying pressure was gone. As an immortal king primary stage, Zhenzheng was far weaker than Freedom King. He was worthless to Mo. The next moment, Mo released his immortal king domain and spirit sense blades. Zhenzheng's body shook after being hacked by the spirit sense blades. His immortal king domain didn't even last 1 second and crumbled in Yimo's domain. Zhenzheng immediately realized that he was weaker than an insect to Mo. Mo didn't even use his real power. If he did, he would be instantly killed. Zhenzheng wanted Mo to stop immediately, but that spirit sense blade was too powerful. One mistake, and it would hack into his sea of consciousness. He couldn't even talk. Then Mo walked up and slapped. The red magic artifact was slapped to the side. The instant Zhenzheng called out stop, Mo slapped on his face. Zhenzheng was an immortal king, but he lost most of his teeth from this slap, and his face was bloody. Thud, the pressure in the hall was gone. Bai Qian Immortal King was grabbed by Mo like a small chicken. The battle ended in a few seconds. Mo sealed all of Zhenzheng's meridians and dropped him next to his feet. Then he sat down on where Zhenzheng sat. He said to Yi Tung and Zhui Wesheng, you two sit next to me. Yi Tung and Zhui Wesheng woke up. Martial Brother Luo was this powerful. He was definitely an immortal monarch, which immortal king would have such power. The two answered in surprise and joy, yes, Martial Brother Luo. Then he looked at Zi Shuang's sect vice sect leader and yelled, get off and invite Jiang Jin and them over. If they're missing 1 strand of hair, I'll go to Moe Heaven and wipe your Zi Shuang sect clean. Yes, yes, this vice sect leader said shakily. This Martial Brother Luo was too scary. He instantly defeated Bai Qian Immortal King. He was certain that the sect leader Sii Ching Immortal King was definitely no match for this murder god. Immortal friend, it was the Immortal Ride Merchant Association's fault. I apologize. Shunjung struggled to crawl up. He was filled with fury, but also regret. If he knew the background of Shanglai Immortal Mountain was this powerful, he wouldn't dare to scheme it even if it was 10 times bigger. He hated Jinning to the bones, but pity he was dead, so he couldn't vent out his anger on him. Yi Mo scanned the shaky, great eternity immortals in the room and said slowly, "You all want a share of my MOU Immortal Mountain? We don't dare, Qianbei." Wanbei was blind. Half-god merchant tower, Fu Hongchen looked bulky and clumsy, but he was the smartest one. Yi Mo said, "Since you were blind, then what should you do?" Half-god merchant tower is willing to compensate MOU for the losses and give the greatest contribution to MOU Immortal City construction. As soon as he said this, Ji Wuliang had brought Jiang Jin and them over. Jiang Jin and them saw Yi Mo sitting at the top, and by Qian Immortal King on the ground. How could they not realize what happened? They came up and greeted Yi Mo. Yi Mo told them to sit next to him too and said to Ji Wuliang, "Your sect leader is about to be here." Ji Wuliang shivered. He knew that Yi Mo knew about him, notifying the sect leader. He shivered. Wanbei, "No, I can't decide this, so I notified sect leader master." Ha! A laughter sounded. Zishuang Immortal Sect, Li Kai greet Immortal King friend. At the same time, an extremely powerful immortal essence wave came. The terrifying Immortal King domain swept over the entire room. Just when everyone was feeling unbearably uncomfortable, a golden-robed man landed in the hall. Yi Mo sneered and reached out his Immortal King domain. At the same time, his Spirit Sense domain complemented his Immortal King domain. The room immediately eased up, and then there was a light cracking sound. Li Kai's face changed greatly. He felt his Immortal King domain dissipate. At the same time, he found he was bound. His face changed greatly. Even if he was bound for 1 second, then Yi Mo could easily kill him. He couldn't laugh anymore. He burned his immortal essence like crazy and broke free of that terrifying binding feeling. At this moment, Yi Mo's calm voice sounded, "If I wanted to kill you, not even your essence spirit would remain now." Li Kai sweated cold. From what he heard from Ji Wuliang, he thought Yi Mo ambushed by Qian Immortal King. But now it seemed Yi Mo really had the power to instant kill by Qian Immortal King and him. Li Kai quickly saluted with his fists. "Respectfully, Zishuang Immortal Sect, Li Kai greet Immortal Friend. Thank you for having mercy. Li Kai is willing to apologize for any rudeness." Hearing this, everyone in the hall realized that this martial brother Luo was far stronger than even Immortal King's sect. "We can talk about the apology slowly. Sit on the side first," Yi Mo said calmly. He came to assert dominance and get benefits, not to kill. Without benefits, he can't even keep building his city and sect. After Li Kai sat down, Yi Mo looked at Fu Hongchen and said, "You only have 1 chance. If you waste it, there won't be half-god merchant tower anymore." "Okay, you can talk about how you want to compensate now." Fu Hongchen didn't dare to test his luck at all. He went up and bowed, "Respectfully, Master Luo, MOU Immortal City bought a lot of materials from my merchant tower. In order to show my genuine will, we're willing to supply 20% of the materials needed to build MOU Immortal City and supply 1 billion immortal crystals. If MOU Immortal City needs half-god merchant tower to buy materials from other places, we're willing to help for free." Fu Hongchen didn't dare to test his luck at all. He went up and bowed, "Respectfully, Master Luo, MOU Immortal City bought a lot of materials from my merchant tower. In order to show my genuine will, we're willing to supply 20% of the materials needed to build MOU Immortal City and supply 1 billion immortal crystals. If MOU Immortal City needs half-god merchant tower to buy materials from other places, we're willing to help for free." Yi Mo nodded. 20% of the materials is quite a lot, and this guy is willing to give 1 billion immortal crystals. He's quite serious. "Very well, I'll take that 20% of materials. I won't let you give me the 1 billion immortal crystals for free. You can have a moderate-level merchant tower in Mo, Immortal City. Hearing this, Fu Hongcheng rejoiced. His heart was aching from giving so much away, but now that he got a merchant tower, he finally got some back. He quickly said, "Thank you, Master Luo. Wan Bei will do my best to help build the city." "Very well, you can go now. You can go to my martial brother, Yi Tung, later." Someone like Fu Hongcheng would be much more experienced in city building than Yi Tung. Fu Hongcheng left happily. Yi Mo waved his hand, and Zhen Zheng's restriction was removed. He looked coldly at him. "What does your immortal ride merchant association plan to do?" Seeing how Li Kai couldn't even do anything against Yi Mo, Zhen Zheng knew that Yi Mo could kill him all too easy. He had to grasp the opportunity, otherwise he would be over. He quickly bowed. "I'm willing to supply 5 billion immortal crystals and provide 50% of the construction materials." Zhen Zheng was ready to give out a lot. He knew that if Yi Mo didn't like what he gave, he would be over. Yi Mo nodded. "On this account, I'll let you go. If you offend me again, Immortal Ride Merchant Association will forever disappear." "Yes, thank you, Master Luo." Although Yi Mo didn't give him Merchant Tower, Zhen Zheng still thanked in horror. Yi Mo thought and eventually said that 5 billion can be your investment. You can have a Merchant Tower at Mo, Immortal City too. The area will be double that of Half-God Merchant Association. Hearing this, Zhen Zheng breathed easy. He didn't care about the Merchant Tower in Mo, Immortal City, but Yi Mo saying this meant that he wouldn't die. After Zhen Zheng left, another black-faced Great Eternity Immortal came up, Wan Bei, Etion Merchant Tower, Kuegu. "We're not as big as Half-God Merchant Tower, but we're willing to supply 500 million immortal crystals and 10% of the materials." "Okay, once you supply enough materials, you can have a Merchant Tower at Mo, Immortal City. The area will be half that of Half-God Merchant Tower," Yi Mo said. After Kuegu left, another beautiful young woman came up. She bowed to Yi Mo, and then said, "Wan Bei, Hai Lan, Immortal City, Huan Feng Merchant Tor Lu Feng, I happen to come by. We're willing to supply the remaining materials needed for Mo, Immortal City construction, as well as materials for future needs, and supply manpower for city construction. On top of that, we're willing to supply Luo Qianbei with the materials to establish sect." Oh, Yi Mo looked at this Lu Feng in surprise. She didn't need to supply that much. She did, so meaning she had something to ask. These things added together was so much more than what Zhen Zheng supplied. "What request do you have?" Yi Mo asked. "Wan Bei want one chance of Master Luo fighting for us." Lu Feng said. Yi Mo immediately realized this Lu Feng was very cunning. It seemed this woman had a powerful enemy, but on account of what she agreed to give, Yi Mo nodded. "Okay, I'm no good person, but I don't kill innocent people. As long as you have reason on your side, and the opponent is below Immortal Monarch, I can help you once." "Thank you, Master Luo. Wan Bei definitely won't dare to ask Qianbei to kill innocent." Lu Feng thanked. Yi Mo gave her a jade card. "When you need my help, bring the jade card over." "Yes." Lu Feng took the jade card and retreated. The rest of the people heard Yi Mo's words and took in a cold breath. Yi Mo could kill anyone below Immortal Monarch. How dominant was such words? How many Immortal Monarchs were in the low heaven domain? He could pretty much kill anyone in low heaven domain. Zhen Zheng's mouth was bitter. Li Kai was shocked and rejoiced that there wasn't big feud between them. The rest of the people all said they were willing to contribute to construction. Yi Mo was happy with their attitude to let them go. Then Yi Mo looked at Li Kai. Li Kai got up and saluted with his fists. "If there's anything you need, just tell me, immortal friend." Yi Mo smiled. "Okay, I'm happy with what sect leaderly said. There's many warm-hearted merchant associations helping with city and sect construction. But this sect is built on my martial brother's request. My martial brother ascended from Luo Yu continent. He built this sect so the cultivators from Luo, Yu continent, can have a place to go. Yemo continued, I want to ask Sect Leaderly to help me set up a notification at the Immortal Ascension Palace and major immortal cities in Low Heaven Domain telling Luo, Yu continent cultivators they can come to Yu Immortal City. Would you be able to do this? Immortal friend Luo, don't worry. Li Kai can definitely do this. Although this wasn't easy, he was an immortal king and had a sect behind him. Okay, thank you, Sect Leaderly. When you help me do this, I'm willing to help you concoct a cauldron of immortal pill. Yi Mo saluted with his fists. Just him alone couldn't help a sect develop. It was easy to kill Li Kai, but compared with dealing with Li Kai, he would earn much more by doing the latter. Immortal friend Luo is an immortal pill great master? Li Kai asked in shock. Yi Mo wanted to use his status as an immortal pill grand master to bring fame to MOU. Otherwise, he wouldn't say this. Now that Li Kai asked, Yi Mo said, Sect Leaderly is wrong. I'm not an immortal pill great master. I'm a level 7 immortal pill grand master. I can concoct level 7 immortal pill, but of course you need to supply the materials. What? With this, Yi Mo threw a bombshell in the hall. Everyone else was shocked. Level 7 immortal pill grandmaster? The entire Low Heaven domain didn't seem to have one. Yi Tung, Jiangjin, and them were already shocked by Yi Mo's power, but now that Yi Mo said he was level 7 immortal pill grandmaster, they opened their mouth wide in shock. In this case, MOU Immortal Sect's future was boundless. Master Luo, you're really level 7 immortal pill grandmaster? Lu Feng asked shakily in shock. Yi Mo nodded immediately, of course. After my city and sect is built, I will be taking in disciples from the entire Low Heaven domain. At the same time, I will concoct pills for 3 days for the entire Low Heaven domain. Yi Mo believed that with this, it was impossible for MOU sect not to be famous. Lu Feng took out the jade card Yi Mo gave him shakily, and another jade box. There was a Primyu immortal fruit inside. Master Luo, Wan Bei wants to ask Qian Bei to help me concoct I King pill. Wan Bei only needs 1 pill. Seeing this, everyone looked at it with red eyes. This was priceless. They didn't expect Lu Feng had such thing. If there wasn't such a powerful immortal king here, they would have fought over it already. You just asked me to help you fight once. If you use it now, wouldn't it be a pity? Yi Mo took the jade card and pung you immortal fruit asking. Lu Feng said shakily, Wan Bei is stuck at Great Eternity Immortal Peak stage for more than 10,000 years. I started a merchant association to gather resources to break through. I got a Pungyu immortal fruit, but I can't find an immortal pill grand master to help me concoct pills. Please help me. Okay, I can promise I will concoct the King pill. Seeing how you're helping me build MOU Immortal Sect, I'll give you 3 King pill. Come wait for me at MOU Immortal City a month later. Yi Mo said. Yi Mo had plenty of King pills in his storage ring. News of MOU Immortal City's construction spread through Gong, Hua Heaven in the quickest way possible, and then the entire Low Heaven domain. News of MOU Immortal City's construction spread through Gong Hua Heaven in the quickest way possible, and then the entire Low Heaven domain. There was no other reason but that there was an extremely powerful immortal king behind it, and he was a level 7 immortal pill grand master. When some people who came to visit saw immortal King Luo enclose the mountain with formation, they just realized he was an immortal formation great master. Countless immortals flocked to MOU Immortal City. Countless merchant associations also came to hear. How attractive would a city with a level 7 immortal pill grand master be? The most talented immortals all wanted to join MOU Immortal City. The merchant association who wanted the most profits all wanted to have a merchant tower at MOU Immortal City. Countless people came to Yi Tung. For the first time, Yi Tung saw there was this many people giving him immortal crystals and materials. Eventually, he couldn't even handle them all. Even with Lu Zhongyan and them to help, he was still too busy. Luckily, Lu Feng came. As the association leader of the #1 merchant tower in Hailan Immortal City, she had high means and experience. Under her lead, MOU Immortal City construction rapidly went on way. Although Yi Mo wasn't at MOU Immortal City, Lu Feng and all the other merchant towers came to help. Even Bai Qian Immortal King came to MOU Immortal City to help. With their experience and status, how could they not see the future of MOU Immortal Sect and Immortal City? MOU Immortal City was being perfected rapidly. There were too many merchant towers contributing materials. In the end, MOU Immortal City used more grand and luxurious materials. There were tens of thousands of immortals working on construction. Because Yi Mo wasn't at the city, those people who came for Yi Mo sucked up to Yi Tung. During this time, people could only constantly hear huge rumbling sounds in MOU Mountain, but no one dared to go in and see. They could all guess it was probably Master Luo setting up the formation. Just looking at that huge immortal mountain, how big would the formation have to be? Because of this, people respected Yi Mo even more. After what happened last time, Yi Mo gave Yi Tung and them a spirit sense attack jade card. But now who dared to attack the MOU Immortal City managers? If they did, other people would already be helping. At this moment, Yi Mo was setting up his 100,000 void defense kill formation. Yi Mo laid down the 1,200 mountain peak formation flags, 2 top-grade immortal range, and 1 middle-grade immortal range, and 3 low-grade immortal range. The framework of the formation started to show. To make the formation stronger, Yi Mo added in the extreme grade and top-grade immortal artifact he collected and forged into the formation too. Yi Mo focused on the formation that he forgot about his arrangement with Lu Feng. This was the end of the second month, and Yi Mo finally finished this infinitely close to level 7 immortal formation. There was one main peak of MOU Immortal Sect, 8 vice peaks, 99 side peaks, and 11,000 elder peaks. There were 1,208 peaks in total. These were the sect member cultivation grounds. When the formation was about to close, Yi Mo was very excited too. He stood on the main peak, MOU peak, and started to close the formation. As the peaks were joined up, the entire mountain made huge rumbling sounds. With this getting louder and louder, the immortals at the city all stopped what they were doing and looked at MOU Immortal Mountain. The mountain protection formation is closing. Zhen Zheng looked at the obscuring mountain and murmured in shock. Hearing Zhen Zheng say this, everyone looked nervously at the mountain. Some immortals who wanted to join MOU Immortal Sect all knelt down. Yi Tung and them also knelt down piously. This would be their sect. Mountain protection formation closing is a major. It is very important to big sections. More people started to kneel. The rumbling sound kept growing louder until 15 minutes later, everyone heard a huge crack. The heavens and earth seemed to have changed. From a distance, they could only see rainbow clouds circulating mountain peaks. Below the rainbow clouds seemed to be a huge lake. A few extremely crisp immortal spirit trees reached out from the rainbow clouds, seeming very lively. The dense immortal spirit chi gathered, and despite being stopped by the formation, everyone outside MOU Immortal City could feel it. Such a good place. Countless people were amazed, and more were thinking about how to join MOU Immortal Sect. Yi Mo stood at the main peak looking at the sect in joy. This place was just what he wanted. If he was going to build a sect at the Grand Heaven Domain, he would use this place as a blueprint. With the dense immortal spirit chi from these immortal ranges, Yi Mo was certain it was on par with some of the Grand Heaven Domain sections. The next moment, Yi Mo opened the formation and came out. Everyone saw the scenery inside, and the circulating immortal spirit chi. This was where everyone wanted to cultivate. The immortal city is almost done construction. Yi Mo looked at the grand immortal city and sighed in amazement. Very well, very well. I'm very happy. Yi Mo nodded. Yi Tung and them came next to Yi Mo. Yi Tung said pridefully, we received a lot of help. Lu Feng Qian Bei stayed in the city the whole time, helping out, as well as Bai Qian, Immortal King Master, and Fu Hongqing sect leader, as well as Peng Xia, Immortal City Lord. Thank you, Brother Zhen. No matter what Xinzheng thought, he did help MOU Immortal City construction a lot. Yi Mo was grateful. Xinzheng's teeth grew back. Long time ago. Hearing this, he came up to Yi Mo and saluted with his fists. Brother Luo, I was blind before. It's right of me to help the city a little. Okay, we'll leave the unpleasurable things in the past. If Brother Zhen stays like this, I won't mistreat you. Yi Mo waved his hand. Xinzheng wanted to hear this. When Yi Mo called him Brother Zhen, he knew what he did wasn't in vain. Peng Xia, Immortal City Lord, was called Wang Chuan, Great Eternity, Immortal Peak Stage. His face was sallow, but his eyes were bright. However, he did contribute to MOU Immortal City construction. Yi Mo thanked him politely and promised to help him concoct a cauldron for free. Wang Chuan used almost half of his savings to help Yi Mo. Other than sucking to Yi Mo, was to hear this sentence. Now that Yi Mo said this, he was very thankful. Lu Feng, I'm very sorry. I said I would give you King Pill in 1 month. I didn't expect the sect formation took 2 months. I wasted a lot of your time, but you helped me so much here. Yi Mo said. Lu Feng bowed. Master Luo, I've already waited for 10,000 years. How could I care about this 1 month? Plus, I'm truly happy doing things at MOU Immortal City. Okay, just from what you said, MOU Immortal Sect can't mistreat you. Come with me. Yi Mo came to a huge empty ground outside MOU Immortal City and set up formation flags. In a brief 15 minutes, Yi Mo set up a level 6 Immortal Spirit Qi gathering formation and threw out a few 100 million immortal crystals. Then he set up a defense and stealth formation outside the Spirit Gathering formation. Yi Mo gave a jade bottle to Lu Feng. This is King Pill. You can go in and have your Immortal King Divine Damnation now. I'll help protect you as compensation. Lu Feng took the jade bottle blissfully. She didn't expect she would get an Immortal King to protect her. Lu Feng still couldn't believe the King Pill in her hands. She didn't even dare to open it. Thank you, Master Luo. Lu Feng will definitely repay your help. Lu Feng walked into the formation excitedly. A great eternity immortal was about to break through to status immortal in front of everyone. This heated up the scene. Some people might never get to see the scene of Immortal King break through, but now they could. This was an opportunity for enlightenment. Everyone outside the city found a good place ready to watch Lu Feng's Immortal King Divine Damnation. Xinzheng sighed. If Lu Feng reached Immortal King, her gratitude to Immortal King Luo would be coming from the bottom of her heart. You're tuning into the Mystic Fist YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.